Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? We haven't done a Star Trek stream in a while. How's it going, Lindsay?
Good. Glad to be back, man. We need to start doing these weekly. We've really got to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
pumping these out now, guys.
I
Come
was
on.
thinking daily. We need to do it daily. Do about a dozen episodes
Like-
every day, and then
like-
just
Like any of our schedules would be able to fit that in. Like any of them.
well,
Look.
we just have to live and breathe Star Trek.
I've got faith
responsibilities.
of the heart.
Lord.
I think we could pull this off.
Yeah, it's been a long road. From there to here.
We both were performing that song really poorly last night, by the way. It was really
beautiful.
Awesome. It was great. It was art in the making.
It was beautiful. It's the greatest
on the
theme song
spot.
ever. But yes, we're going to be today. We'll be talking about. Oh yeah, and real quick, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to visit this guy's. Oh well, my hand's a bit further out. This guy's channel, Lindsay, my 2 cents and nonsense. Make sure to visit, give him a sub. Of course, visit Organized Chaos, give me a sub. And she doesn't have a YouTube channel.
I don't.
Yeah.
However, she does ask if she ever does pick up a YouTube channel. Do not subscribe. Do not ignore it. Right? What should they subscribe if you get one?
I'm gonna let you guys think that one for
I don't know. I'm just trying
She's
to
gonna
help
chase
out.
the anti-SEO, so she's going to get negative subscribers, but get millions of views. Just really kind of throw the metrics off.
Collapse the algorithm.
I'm just the ultimate rage baiter. That's gonna be me.
Oh God! Just everything you say. Ah. But yes, so we're going to be discussing some episodes that deal with fascist stuff. But it's not related to real life. Not related to real life. I want to stress, because Star Trek is a non-political show, very famously non-political, doesn't reflect real life at all. Yeah, Gene Roddenberry famously said he created Star Trek just because he just would do silly sci-fi stories without any messages or meanings behind it whatsoever. That was famously what he said.
It's on his grave, right? Like just carved into the stone.
Yeah. It was just a silly sci-fi show, guys. Just a silly.
It's really funny when people say stuff like this, because even outside of Star Trek, it's literally impossible to make any piece of art that has nothing to do with real life, or has no. I forgot what I was going to say, but I am right.
Yeah.
It's difficult to live in the world and not be influenced by the things that are around you. And when the things that are around you are big and crazy and political and world shifting and stuff, the things you write are gonna get influenced by that. It's just kind of how it is.
I mean, if we're not being sarcastic anymore, I will just say art is a reflection of the world that was made in, and that's just what it is as a fact. There's no getting around it. There's no getting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be going over some not obviously kind of inspired by real life events, but going over some times when Star Trek kind of tackled fascism. See, am I out of? Oh wait, I can add more. Okay, hold on. I just gotta fix this background here because I just occurred to me that I should get something. So we are going with the Terran Empire. We're going with
Okay.
Yes. Famously the most anti-fascist empire of them all, the Terran Empire. Yeah.
No. Whenever we go into the mirror universe, I've been thinking recently, I'm like, man, we're in the mirror universe, aren't we?
I have joked around on the showcast that we are in the universe where Kirk saves Edith Keeler, and then the Nazis just win.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah, he saved Edith Keeler. He just couldn't watch her die, and then this is the world we're living in. Thanks, Kirk.
God damn it.
Yeah.
But these were a surprisingly fun bunch of episodes. I'm gonna say some of these did get pretty silly.
Oh yeah, no, we definitely have original series stuff, and I kind of love. I have a new appreciation, I think, for the original series, because there was a time period where I had trouble watching it because I thought it was too 60s, and now I kind of love it because it's so
Right.
dated,
I feel like
but like it means well, you know.
I feel like the original series is like an acquired taste. Like I was so like
Yeah.
there are just things about it where when you first watch it, you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah, why would they do that?
Like I remember when you were showing it to me, I was struggling like so hard with the soundtrack because it's so in your
Yes.
face about everything. I
Yes.
felt like the composer was like coming out in every scene and like punching me in the face.
Mm. True.
So being like, you need to understand the feeling of the scene, and I'm like, I do.
Mhm. Yeah, no, the soundtrack's over the top. They all cheese, but man, William Shatner is like king cheese of acting, I swear. Like nobody cheeses like Shatner. Like I've yet to see an actor that can chew scenery like him. It's like when he decides he's going into it, it's like I don't know what he's doing, but I'm kind of digging it.
Well, that was actually one of the secrets of Star Trek. They saved a lot of money because they didn't have to tear sets down. He would just go and eat them. He would
he's
literally eat
tearing
the
it
scenery.
down
Yeah.
with his performance as they're doing the show. Yeah. It was a real budget saver. They're like, oh man, we need to tear down this set. Hey, we're gonna record you, Shatner. Ah! Ah!
I still can't get over it. He goes like, what do you mean about this? I've been doing this like around the house,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
constantly.
I don't know what you mean by that
it's
motion, but
captured my
okay.
mind.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's an idea that just pops into your head. But oh yeah, I did announce this will be my last live stream until probably next weekend, which I guess isn't that huge a jump for a lot of people. I usually stream like 3 or 4 times a week anymore, but yeah, I won't be doing it that much this week because I'll be visiting my family because my aunt died. So yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, guys, I'm so sorry.
I'm doing better. The first day hit me hard, but yeah, I'm doing
Okay.
better. But yeah. So this stream will just be
Cool.
me crying.
We'll cry together, big
Let
guy.
it
We
out.
got this.
Let it out. Let
Was
it
there
out.
a topic? Oh
Let it
no.
out.
I don't know. I can't.
Don't just zone out. Zone out from your surroundings.
Okay.
Nothing is happening.
Yeah.
It steals the hat. He's in the driver's seat now.
Uh-oh. Where's my hat?
I don't know.
Oh shit, the hat's vanished. I can't stream without my streaming hat.
It's gone. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh dear. I guess so listen, I have this all lined up. We got 3 episodes about the rise of fascism, 3 episodes about just fighting fascism, then 3 episodes about the byproducts of fascism. Are we ready to experience the rise of fascism?
Yes. Do you want your hat back?
You can wear it if you want.
Oh, okay. I'll wear it for this.
People can look at my balding head. People can look at my I don't know why I said balding. I meant full.
Yes,
full
Bob,
hair.
you're beautiful. What are you
Just
doing, man?
So much hair.
luscious.
Yes.
Yes.
I just can't handle this much hair. So the first episode I brought up was it's a 2-parter. It's Demons and Terra Prime. I brought up the second part just to make it a little bit easier. But I put these in order of timeline. So like this is the first episode that happens in this set, although not the first episode that happens in the overall. But yes, this is an episode. This is a 2-parter, Latent Enterprises season 4, which, as many of you people might know, it's the good season of Enterprise. But it's about essentially the Federation is just starting to get together. They're trying to get a coalition together with a treaty with 4 main races, being the Andorians, the Tellarites, humans, and Vulcans. And that causes an uprising of this group called Terra Prime, who are extremely xenophobic and believe Earth should be for the humans. Then it was also brought up, well, are we still going to explore? And kind of their solution was like, yeah, we'll just conquer planets, which is just like, it's a great fucking solution. But yeah, this the rising up of extremely xenophobic faction within Earth. what is everybody's thoughts on this two-parter? Because I definitely have thoughts. I will say overall, I think it's pretty good. But yes, what do you guys think?
Let's get the big one out of the way. Why wasn't this the series finale?
Oh
Why did they have
yeah,
to
I
make
know I was
this
about
was
to
one
say,
more episode?
got hit with a real doozy.
if
after
they
this
just
one.
it's one of those things where there's lost episodes of Doctor Who, and I'm like, if they just lost last episode of Enterprise and made this the finale, better series. Like this is way better, and I know lots of people view this as the actual finale, and I get it because
Mhm.
These Are the Voyages sucks.
And also, just like, how weird is it to end I guess spoilers, these two pair of episodes with, Trip and T'Pol realizing, oh, we can have a baby, and then
Yeah.
the next episode isn't about them having a baby; it's about Trip dying. Like, what are you doing to a show?
Well, I mean, this feels like kind of finale, and I suspect when they were putting this together, this was kind of being built up to be the season finale, and then it got reshaped, and this got moved to no longer be the season finale. But
I
this
guess
is a much better finale than what we actually got. There's no pictures of Peter Weller, but Peter Weller plays Paxton, who's the leader of Terra Prime. One of the elements I thought was interesting. So Terra Prime actually stole T'Pol and Trip's DNA and made a hybrid baby. And I think that's kind of interesting to examine. Like, why would this extremely xenophobic group do that? And I do think, to me, it's almost like, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it, but
I felt like it was like rage bait, but like for really xenophobic people.
maybe. And I was
Because they're
also
all like,
thinking,
"Look at
rage
that,"
I was also thinking they might like fetishize this a bit. Like a lot of them might, like, because you get that element, like you get like these groups that have extreme hatred towards something, but then like behind the scenes when nobody's looking, they actually engage in that type of thing. Like, all these Republican conventions where Grinder breaks down and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel like there's
I
an
don't know.
element of
Have you
that
guys
to
by
it. Yeah.
chance seen One Battle After Another yet?
No, but I am intrigued. Have you seen it?
It plays. I have, and I adored it, and it plays with that
Okay.
idea of publicly, I am against this. Behind closed doors, I love this, and so I
Yeah.
actually did have that kind of thought watching this episode. But it is also kind of funny in these episodes where every now and again there's like, "Oh, get this dirty baby away from me," and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, you're the one that made that baby.
Yeah. No, and I'll be honest, watching this two-part of that baby, like, I was a bit choked up at the end about that baby, because spoiler alert, the baby doesn't make it, and I'm just like, "Oh, about the baby." And then, so much of the episode, or especially the ending, is spent with, like, T'Pol. T'Pol is obviously upset, and she's a Vulcan, so that tells you something. And then Trip is just pretty much in tears over the whole thing, and it's like, "Oh." And it's like, it's not even a baby they made. It was a baby that like was stolen from their DNA and created, and they, still that like tore them up. That the baby didn't survive, and it's because they used improper cloning techniques. We learn. Um, Overall, I do have issues with this two-parter, but I would say definitely like it more than I dislike it. I feel like there's a couple elements that I feel like were dropped in there that they didn't really do anything with, like. The big one that stands out to me is the guy who's kind of leading the Federation delegation. I want to say the actor's name's Harry Groening or something like that. He was in Tin Man on TNG, and he was also, I want to say, the mayor in Buffy. I want to say that was season 3.
Oh, yes. And he was also on How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, season 3 of Buffy. The evil mayor. Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
I know exactly what
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. He's like the head of the Federation delegation, and there's a point where they discuss the fact that he was a member of Terra Prime when he was younger.
I know. I was actually I was like waiting for that to sort of
Pay
back,
off,
because like they basically were just like, "Oh, I was 18," and then it just like.
Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, not the best picture, but yeah, I was expecting that to have some sort of payoff, and it never does. It just kind of dropped in there, and I was just waiting for them to do anything with it, and that never goes anywhere. I did think it was an interesting idea to throw in there, though. Go ahead.
Apologies, I stepped on you, my friend. But it was always kind of funny to me. It's like, okay, so the humans, the newest to the space traveling conglomeration that is the Federation or whatever is going to become the Federation. They think they could just declare war on like the Klingons and all these guys and just be like, no, we're in charge now. It's kind of a flawed plan. Like I understand that fascists aren't always the most intelligent to people, and there is always a bit of hypocrisy in a lot of the things that they do, going back to the baby again. But it is just like a really ballsy move for them to just assume that they could just kind of start taking over from Earth. It's pretty funny in a way.
Well, I mean, their plan is also what they do is they capture this Mars array, and their plan is just to kind of shoot the weapon, and it seems like a fairly powerful weapon, but like there's the key element that they could just blow up the Mars array, which essentially is their plan, and the only thing holding them back is that they have Trip to Paul and the baby, which they're like, okay, we're going to try to save them. But if worst comes to worst, we'll just blow up the array. We're not going to let them have that. It is a seriously flawed plan. But like you said, of course, fascist, not known for being the smartest. Just throw that out there. But yeah, and this crew member was. I kind of wish that they had like teased this crew member a bit more. I do notice in the two-part they do introduce some random crew members throughout, and I don't even know if this guy's really introduced, but. They do spend a couple moments introducing some random people throughout, and I'm like, oh, is this going anywhere? And I think it was kind of teased. Maybe one of them would be this guy, and this guy is the Terra Prime member who's on Enterprise. He's the one that steals Trip into Paul's DNA and gives it to Terra Prime. And he sabotages it. I kind of wish they'd done a bit more with him, but
I remember when he popped up on screen because I was like, wait, who is this guy? Whoa, whoa, stop.
Yeah. But overall, I still really like this two-parter. This is definitely during the era where, like, rewatching Enterprise, it's almost wild. So, like, season 1 and 2, Archer is such a jackass. I just want to punch him so often. Then season 3, it's like, okay, he's fine. And then season 4 is... I actually like Jonathan Archer as a character, which is just like the fuck. And I feel like even in early season 4, he's well written, but like I want to say like a third of the way through season 4, they have him mind melded with a Vulcan, and I think they're trying to like get past some of the rougher writing with him to say like the mind meld with the Vulcan kind of equalized him out a bit. Because he's just such a cooler character in season 4. And I kind of wish the show had continued with that Jonathan Archer. We had more seasons of that guy because I actually like that guy. He's not threatening to punch DePaul every other day.
He's so wild in the earlier seasons. Like I can't get over like who is this guy? Why is he in charge?
I mean, we're actually going to go over an earlier Enterprise season episode, and it's actually the one Enterprise episode from earlier where it's a major Jonathan Archer episode, but like he's not insufferable. So it shows that like they could write him, they just almost never did.
I don't know how you.
Poor Scott Bakula too, man. He's doing his Scott Bakula, and it's just not enough sometimes.
No, he is actually a very likable actor. I think season 4 is the only season where they actually leaned into the fact that he's likable rather than just make him a douchebag. Because I don't think he's an actor that carries douchebag all that well, but likable, yeah. Who doesn't love Sam Beckett? Like, come on.
He's got such a puppy face.
Yes. You guys have anything else to add on Demons and Terra Prime?
Not really.
I do like that Mayweather gets a hot reporter girlfriend, and
he does get a little story,
right? Yeah, it's like he gets some screen time. Good for him. Yeah. And I was a little worried that she was going to be the terrorist. And well, I agree that the reveal that it's just this dude who's just been around isn't great. I'm also glad it wasn't her. It's like I don't know, like throw Hoshi a hot guy now. At least these two characters can at least like have some kind of happy ending. But
that is true. Yeah, I mean that. It's better than the original series, but yeah, as much as the original series is like the Spock, Kirk, and McCoy show, Enterprise was kind of becoming the Trip to Paul and Archer show. Although, yeah, like I said, it's not quite as bad. But yeah, overall, I think this is a good two-parter. Should have been the series finale. Frankly, just do some sort of filler episode. Do this as a series finale, and then forget these are the voyages. In fact, you know what? rework these are the voyages and just make it like a fun event episode and just put it in the middle of the season.
I think it would have been so much better if they released this as like a post-season special.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, sure, Riker watches a thing that's like this, but I think sort of divorced from the context of the main show, it would not make all of the stuff that we've seen so far feel weird and pointless.
Yeah, a TNG special one-shot, because I think it would help if you identified it as TNG, so that way, you know, when you see Enterprise stuff, it's like, oh, hey, it's Enterprise stuff.
Oh my god, I just thought of the best worst idea ever, and this is why I could never be a writer for Star Trek. I would want to do like Strange New Worlds, but it's Captain Pike. Okay, I guess it can't be Strange New Worlds because that would be set in the future. So like some new series of Star Trek, and it's going back and it's learning a lesson from Riker, learning a lesson by watching These Are the Voyages. So you're watching a character, watch a character, watch a thing.
Oh my god.
It just opens with a scene from These Are the Voyages. But then Riker is like, computer freeze program. We continue on for a little bit, and then suddenly, computer freeze program.
Okay. I got it.
The most rage-baiting episode
you
ever.
can't encompass all of Star Trek with it, but with the placement of this character in the timeline, you can get most of it. The vast majority. A series just based around what Boimler does in the holodeck on his off hours.
Oh my goodness. Wait, but he would do this.
Yes, he would. Just visit old Star Trek episodes all the time.
That's what Lower Decks needs to do. They need to do like a once a year event episode, South Park style, 45 minutes long. With
He would just like drop into TNG and then try to get Picard to give him advice.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be the one to ask for advice about women, just like Data.
Oh my goodness, yes, he would do that.
All right. I think we're done with this one. So are we ready for the drumhead?
Yeah.
Wait, actually, quick. When is Lower Decks set in the timeline? I'm assuming it's after Voyager, right?
Lower Decks, I believe it starts about 5 years after Nemesis. So it's like right in the, I think towards the end of the series, it's coming up pretty close to Star Trek 2009, future time in Star Trek 2009. But I think when it starts, it's kind of in between Nemesis and 2009.
Okay, cool. And sorry, just random thought in my head.
And Prodigy, when it was on, was taking place in the exact same timeline Lower Decks was on at that time, which is a shame they never thought to do some sort of crossover or something.
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be so cool! The two different animation styles.
Yeah.
Sorry, no. Okay.
They could even do a thing where like part 1's on one series and then part 2's on the other series, and we get to see all the characters in the different animation style. That could be fun.
I feel like that those
so cool,
shows
actually.
are like bonded. I've felt this way for a while. They're definitely like different in like tone and like target audience, but like they have a lot of similarities.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's lots of like, because obviously
like the referencing Star Trek.
Well, that's the thing. So like, in Lower Decks, you have Boimler, who's just the Star Trek fanboy, but like in Prodigy, it's about like this ship of people who are learning about the Federation and are becoming Federation like fanboys, essentially. So
those were like chock full of all of these references to other things that happened over the franchise.
Yes.
And now I found out they take place in the same time period.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it is a crazy choice. Yeah, I can't believe. Anyway, we can go off all day.
That's so perfect.
They are probably hoping to do something like that, but it never happened. But that brings us to the Drumhead. So the Drumhead is about a conspiracy on the Enterprise. It opens up with them catching this Klingon saboteur. Who has been smuggling information to the Romulans, and apparently he set off a bomb in engineering. And essentially, they do an investigation. They find out, this guy actually didn't do the bomb in engineering, so somebody else must be working with him. So, we get introduced to Rear Admiral Satie, who is investigating this. I don't know why you're nodding. You're shaking your head. She's the greatest character ever.
Who is stinky?
No, she's great. She's trying to find the conspiracy.
Who is stinky?
She's trying to find the conspiracy because there's obviously a conspiracy.
Who is rank?
No, C and Picard work together, try to figure out who was working with this Klingon spy. They have the footage of the bomb going off in engineering. And essentially they come across the dude who is being oh, did Jonathan Frakes direct this?
Yeah, I didn't realize that, but yeah,
I was gonna go in
it's like on
behind
the
the scenes
IMDb page,
stuff because the writer oh yeah, they come across this guy Simon Tarsis who sometimes gave the Klingon these injections that would have information that he was giving to the Romulans, and the Betazoid that Sati has with her says, "Oh, he's lying when he's under oath." And Ian Picard and like the audience, like I know when I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, he's obviously nervous. I don't know if I'd necessarily say he's lying though. Like he's obviously nervous as hell because he's being questioned. And wouldn't you be fucking nervous if you're being questioned right now?
I'm looking at this photo of him,
Mm-hmm.
and like the thing is that I find it extremely funny, just like
Mm-hmm.
about me, not about the show.
Yeah.
That I've seen this episode multiple times, and obviously like his ancestry is very much spoken about in the show, and I never noticed that he had like pointed ears at all.
Oh yeah.
They're more rounded than like
yeah.
which makes sense, but like I just like straight up didn't notice that they were
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, they put a little bit of prosthetic on his ear.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be half Vulcan. And
isn't he supposed to be like a quarter Vulcan? It's like his grandpa.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, spoiler alert for the episode: he's not any Vulcan. He's part Romulan, which he hid.
If what he said was true, he would be a quarter Vulcan. So.
Yeah,
my point still stands.
But Sati is convinced because he was lying on the stand that this guy is part of the conspiracy. Meanwhile, in engineering, Data and LaForge have finished their investigation and discovered, oh, it was just this faulty part we got. It there wasn't any bomb on engineering. It was just a coincidence that this happened. And Sati's like, nope. The crewman Simon Tarsis is definitely working with them.
Understand this guy did a little fib.
Yeah, okay? Yeah. He lied on his application. Therefore, he is definitely a spy working with the Romulans and working with the Klingon. And Picard at that point is kind of like, well, wait a minute. We have no evidence to any of this. Like, why are we going to destroy this guy's career for like a fucking application fib? That like, I think we all understand why he did it. Come on. But yeah, so it becomes this episode about her just wanting to expose this conspiracy and kind of tear the crew apart over this guy who is just fucking innocent. Like his greatest crime is fucking up his application, and she's ready to upend like this whole ship just to get to this guy, which is disturbing.
There was also one of these things where I know they like brought him in multiple times, but wasn't one of the times it was open to the public, or was that
yes, that was at the end?
And that's one of those things where it's almost like a humiliation ritual, you know, getting like questioned very publicly in front of like literally anyone that wants to be there.
That was kind of the point too. Yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, you know what this lady reminded me of, and it was probably indirectly intentional. Umbridge from Harry Potter. She was screaming Dolores Umbridge the entire time. This is a fun one. I'd never seen this one before.
Oh, really?
Like I've seen some of the clips, like Red Letter Media likes to use the clips of Picard getting frustrated and a lot of things. So I recognized a lot of shots, but this was a really interesting one where it's not. It was just fascinating to watch Star Trek tackle the subject of it's more important to get a conviction than to determine innocence kind of trial. I don't think I'd ever really seen that in Star Trek before. There's probably a dozen episodes I'm not thinking of right now, but I was into this one. It was tense. I love me a good Worf episode. Like Worf had a lot of good screen time. I liked his thing at the end where he's like, I believed her, and Captain Picard's like, we all did. I don't know why I said both those characters with the same voice. I mean, it's weird to say an episode about fascism was fun, but I was really into this. And I looked up the guy who played the Vulcan. He's been in like 100 things apparently that we've all seen, and
really?
like always been like little bits parts. Like something about him looked familiar, so I had to figure it out. But I was into this one a lot. This is one of my favorite ones from this group of episodes we watched.
What do you think, Ashley?
This was like one of the first episodes of TNG, I believe, that
I think
watched.
so.
And I remember this
Okay.
was the one where I was like, man, I like this Picard guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, this is with one of the ones where when we were doing the captains ranking, I was trying to think of good episodes to show you, kind of showcase the captains. So I showed you this one to showcase Picard. And
Yeah.
I'd even kind of forgotten the episode. I was kind of Googling like what are cool Star Trek episodes. I remember rewatching this with her, and I was like, oh, this is a good one.
I really like the scene when he talks to what's his name, Tarsus.
Yeah,
And he's
Tarsus.
basically like, do not worry,
Mhm.
I got this.
Mhm. Well, I mean, I'm sure Satie didn't do this, but Picard took time to bring Tarsus just into his quarters, just to have a chat, just to learn his
Yeah.
backstory and learn about him, and learn about how this kid like dreamed of joining Starfleet, and like he knew his Vulcan or not Vulcan, but Romulan heritage wouldn't allow that, so he fudged the application so he could follow his dream, and it was just
Yeah.
like, oh god, and you have Satie just persecuting the crap out of this kid, and it's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And they even talk about like his career is going to be in ruins after this. No matter what happens, his career's in ruins. And it's like, oh, fucking hell.
And he was like a good officer too, right?
Yes,
And they
yeah.
were only persecuting him because of his
Yeah,
application
literally,
and
like
like being a Romulan.
it's pretty much just racism. Yeah, it's just he's a Romulan, so he must be a bad guy.
Yeah.
So
Like, it'd be
yeah,
another thing if he was terrible at his job, but come
Yeah.
on, guys, like.
so this was an episode written by Jerry Taylor, who passed away last year. But this was actually her first episode that she ever submitted for Star Trek, and got her the job. And this is
cool.
also the episode that she says she is the most proud of. She was really happy with how this episode turned out, and I get it because this is a great one. Someday I'll do my top 10 TNG episodes, but I will let you guys know this is a serious contender for me because this is really fucking good. It's mainly a Picard episode, but Worf definitely has a lot of stuff where like Satie comes on board, and like Worf and Picard are working with her pretty closely, but there is a point where Picard diverges, but Worf kind of almost aligns himself more with her. And that becomes a part of the story, is Worf realizing, holy shit, like, because it's not until the final public questioning of Tarsus where Worf is just like, the fuck, and that's when she's like starts throwing accusations at like everybody. She's accusing Picard, how often have you betrayed the Prime Directive? And then she's like, Worf, your father betrayed the Klingons to the Romulans at the Battle of Kittimer, and something we know as fans wasn't true, but yes, he has been accused of that. And yeah, and she's just throwing accusations everywhere, and it's like, wow, it's become unhinged. But
always appreciate a boss standing up for one of his employees. Don't see that a whole lot.
No, yeah, it's Picard's one of my favorite captains. Picard and Cisco are fucking awesome, by the way. just saying. But yeah, and
John Luke just nails those monologues, and the one that he has in this one, like, again, that red letter always uses in their clips, like, it's so good, where he's just sitting there being like, who do we want to be? Is this how we want to do? I know I'm paraphrasing it horribly, but like, he's just calling out the Federation, he's calling out like the people in the room, just like, is this who we want to be? It's such a powerful moment. It's good TV.
Towards the end of last year, I did do a video where I put that speech and juxtapose it to a lot of Trump speeches, and
wow,
yeah, it's kind of disturbing, yeah. But yeah, it's a really good speech, really good Picard moment.
Can I say, as an aside, that I really like Patrick Stewart's acting as Picard?
Yeah,
like, he does a really good job of conveying a lot without like doing a lot.
Yeah. Well, Picard's like a very introverted fellow.
Eyes.
He's very introverted. He's very proper, and he's very formal. But like, you can there's definitely a personality there. Patrick Stewart does a great job as Picard. I think I want to say, it's. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, it's Gene Simmons. I was like, her name's Gene Simmons, right? And all of a sudden, I was like, I'm not thinking of Kiss, am I? But yeah, no, it's obviously spelled the feminine Gene. But yeah, the actress who plays Annabelle Satie, she's great. I mean, she's playing a character that, like, at first you're kind of like, okay, she seems all right, but like quickly you're like, oh, she's fucked up, and You know, and she's playing it in kind of a way where like you can see how somebody would go down that path. And I think
It's like every scene
Mhm.
that she's in, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no. Like it's just like the consistent like descent. in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion.
She's just getting worse and worse. And but like it this episode conveys how like people can like get drawn down this path very quickly and disturbingly quickly. Um yeah, it's just a great episode. I love this one.
It's like, when she first shows up, I was like, oh, she seems nice. You know, she's
Yeah,
being
yeah.
very polite and friendly with him. And then, like, you know, we extend to like the trial things. I'm like, oh, that's a jump. I don't think I like that.
Yeah,
You know, I
like-
think she's making a mistake here. And then like we get to the end and she's like, I've torn around greater men than you, Picard. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, she's completely off the rails. And yeah, the other admiral that she invited aboard just walks out at that point. And it's like, oh shit, you know, that's not boding well for her. And you know, hey, thank God.
It was a bad look.
Yeah. She's like, I'm gonna tear
First
you
of all-
all down.
First of all, no one is better than Picard, so she's clearly out of line just for that there alone.
But yeah, overall fantastic episode.
yeah.
Apparently directed by Jonathan Frakes as well. He does a great job as well, but he's a good
He's a
director.
good director.
Yeah, directed by
He
Jonathan
really
Frakes.
is.
Yeah. You know who else I don't think gets shout outs enough? That's another Star Trek actor who does great directing is LeVar Burton.
I was
Mhm.
wondering if you were going to say him.
Because fun fact, he actually directed Demons in Terra Prime that we just talked about. So
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's actually a couple really good Enterprise episodes that I've looked it up, and it's like, oh shit, that was directed by LeVar Burton. So like, he's got some highlights in there.
Okay.
And was yes. So the final chapter in our Rise of Fascism section, we have Paradise. Oh, it's Homefront and Paradise Lost. So this is the two-parter Deep Space Nine. It begins with this explosion on Earth at a embassy where the Romulan and Federation delegations are meeting for some sort of talks, and you know that gets blown up. It's the first like bomb that goes off on Earth in like 100 years or something like that. Outside of I want to say they threw in some sort of exception of something that big happened in the series. I don't remember what, but it'll probably be obvious.
Either way,
but yeah, But essentially, yeah, the first bomb that goes off on Earth territory, and then they find they zoom in on one of the jars in the footage, and we see like some shapeshifter activity, and it's like, oh shit, the changelings did this. Aha! So Cisco and Odo go to Earth to help reinforce their security efforts and help them figure out how to fight against changelings. And then everything goes well.
Good time, nothing bad.
Everything
I like stopped on that photo and I was like, that seems right.
Everything goes well. They fight the changelings. It's all resolved nicely.
Yeah, it's, the changelings.
No, it's now one where they meet up with this Admiral Layton, and Admiral Layton seems like this reasonable guy, and they're working with him to because they're like, the president wants to be too lenient, and we have to be strict. We have to be vigilant against these changelings. There's even this great moment with Brock Peters, who plays Joseph Sisko, where like they're requiring all Federation citizens, not all Federation citizens, but all Federation officers and their families to get blood tests. And Joseph Sisko's like, I'm an old man that runs a restaurant. Why would a changeling want to take me over? I'm not submitting to a blood test. And it turns into this huge fight. And Sisko even gets to a point where he's suspecting his father's a changeling until he cuts himself and bleeds. And that moment is just like, the fuck, man. Like, you think a changeling is taking over your taking over this restaurant? Like,
I've got you now.
and essentially part one ends with martial law being declared and Federation officers just swarming the streets with guns. It's after this explosion goes off that knocks off the power grid. And then it brings us to part two, where we start figuring out that it was Admiral Layton who actually orchestrated like all of this. We don't know. The initial bomb seems like that was almost certainly a changeling thing, but it seems like Layton kind of took that and started, he did the power outage so that everybody would get scared, and then he could do this power grab and kind of, his plan is pretty much to just take over, just be the one person who rules the Federation. Like we'll fuck over the Dominion or whatever. This is
It's a
probably the
recurring
episode.
theme when talking about fascism. When
Yeah.
someone's like, "Yeah, no, we got this. We can take on everyone. No,
Yeah.
we won't be horribly outnumbered. It'll go great."
Yeah. Robert Foxworth is the actor who plays Leighton. Fucking great. Another great villain
Seriously.
turn from a Federation officer. And he is definitely going full fascist. He wants to be like pretty much the dictator of the Federation, essentially. And he's getting pretty close. And Cisco starts realizing, Cisco, who was working with him for a while and agreeing with a lot of his stuff and backing him up a lot, is suddenly realizing, oh, wait a minute. Maybe my dad's right about this shit.
May I say that?
Yeah.
I think that like the sort of like the Cisco family actors
Yeah.
are all like really good.
Oh yeah.
Like they have like
Mhm.
very believable chemistry with each other,
Mhm.
like believable family chemistry, and you don't think about it a whole lot because it's like, yeah.
Well, I think you also don't think about a lot because all the chemistry for the actors on Deep
Yeah.
Space Nine is actually really good.
Yeah,
Like they work
that
together
is
well.
that is the thing. I feel like almost all the acting is really good on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But yeah, I'll open it up. What are your guys' thoughts on this two-parter?
Well, just to throw in the actors getting along so well, I always love the story about the Ferengi actors always meeting together and like
Yeah.
practicing like
That
a
is-
week ahead of time and just like hanging out. That's just so adorable to me. I love that. That's why the Ferengi are so good on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is there's something about that final moment in this episode where we see armed Starfleet officers walking the streets of Earth that
Mhm.
like, especially in 2025, I don't know, I can't remember exactly what city you guys live in, I apologize, but like as someone who lives in Los Angeles that's had the freaking
Yeah.
National Guard sent here and stuff like that, and I was in Portland 2 weeks before the National Guard were sent there, like it's a little crazy to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's powerful imagery.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things also where it's like Deep Space Nine, I swear to God, Deep Space Nine stayed extremely well because a lot of the way they talk about how Leighton's taking over and the people, the Federation officers hitting the streets and stuff like that. This one, it's like, God, this feels like exactly like a lot of the stuff that's happening right now. Like just Jesus Christ, like just 30 years later, we're actually doing this shit. The stuff that Star Trek Deep Space Nine villains did.
So I've seen a decent amount of Star Trek in my time at this point. you
Yes.
know? But like, and I
Yeah.
feel like basically every like Star Trek
Mhm.
TV show, especially, if it was from sort of like, further. I mean, I'm counting like the 2000 stuff when I say this as well, because I
Mhm.
think some of that has aged very interestingly.
Mhm.
But like, I feel like there's always like these moments where it's like, I can smell the time period.
Yeah.
And like you have some of that with Deep Space Nine, but that
Not a
happens
lot,
like much
yeah.
less likely,
Like,
much less common.
I
than
would
it
say
has in,
you
like,
definitely
basically
get the
any other.
most of that in the original series, and probably after that, I would go towards maybe early TNG and then maybe Enterprise because that went for a lot of the edgier stuff sometimes, which was really silly sometimes. But
I,
Look, they really needed to put that cream on each other, guys. They
yeah,
really,
yeah,
really,
the
really needed to
decontamination gel. Oh God,
the gel. Sorry.
every time they did that in that series, it's like,
No.
why?
Star
This
Trek
is so
2000
dumb.
Star Trek 2009 is so 2000s to me.
True, true.
It's like I'm watching it and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay, so
But
fun fact because it was.
I
Oh,
no, go ahead.
I was going to say this actress was driving me nuts because I was like, she is so familiar, and I looked it up, and in TNG she played Dr. Leah Brahms, the one that
Oh.
Geordi had like the crush on in the holodeck, and I was like,
That's
oh
fun.
shit, okay. Playing a
Wait, that's hilarious
completely
because I
different
remember that
character,
episode, but I haven't thought about that in forever. And I was
Mhm.
definitely thinking that on this rewatch. Who is this lady?
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
this is a really solid two-parter as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, Deep Space Nine has just aged ridiculously well. Oh God, yeah. And,
so
like,
how often do we actually see Earth too? It's just nice to
Yeah.
see Earth in Star Trek, right?
And
Like,
I like the use of the changelings here because there's not that much
Mhm.
changeling stuff here, but it is there. They pop up every once in a while just to remind us, oh yeah, we're here, guys. When you're learning kind of what their plan is, it's like, oh yeah, their whole goal is to get people tense. And like, there's this great meeting with O'Brien and Cisco where like he's like, yeah, we barely have to do anything, and you guys are already locking down. It's ridiculous, man.
I do really like this scene
Hmm.
because I mean, obviously the most obviously suspicious thing that O'Brien is doing is being there.
Yeah.
But I think like even like in the way that he's like acting and stuff, like I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something so obviously off about it.
Oh yeah.
And
Mhm.
the acting in this show is really good.
Well, that's the thing. So like when we see O'Brien here, I feel like Colm Meaney almost always plays a villain when he's in like almost anything else that's not Star Trek. It's almost a villain or at least a jerk. And I feel like for this little scene here, they told him, yeah, go into villain mode for this moment. And yeah, he's totally in villain mode for this moment. He's like, yeah, there's only 4 of us here. You guys are already freaking out. It's great. And that's one
And I
of the
love
great moments, like learning that there's only 4 changelings. You guys are like locking down your whole thing for 4 fucking people.
it's a little wild to think about that, like just I mean, because that's like, we live in the post 9/11 world. Like, how much damage can one person do? How much damage can 4 people do with like the proper planning and stuff like that, especially when they're aliens? And
Mhm,
so it's like, what is the terrorism? Is the terrorism the changelings blowing up the building, or is the
mhm,
terrorism planting the thought in everyone's minds that they could do it again, and thus they're turning us all against each other, kind of a
mhm,
thing? It's genius, but it's
mhm.
also, we should getting back on topic. It's like it's how fascism starts, because like that's like the big twist of that. Maybe I shouldn't give this away yet. Maybe it's too soon. But like the big twist of this two-parter is, it's a power grab,
Yep,
but by
Yeah.
an admiral trying to take over the Federation and turn it into a big war thing. like
yep.
Yeah.
like every admiral seems to want to do.
Robert, probably going back to our drumhead conversation, is bringing up how Savick was originally meant to be half Romulan, half Vulcan, which is not something I
Oh.
don't think they ever actually make that canon. So I think like that was something that was supposed to exist in Wrath of Khan, and I think the line was deleted, and just went for being Vulcan after that. But yes, I do remember reading something about that, which might have been interesting. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I do actually think that 9/11 is kind of an interesting comparison to make and kind of a good comparison to make
mhm,
because think of all of the ripple effects that have
yeah.
happened from 9/11, and it was just like a couple of guys,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I think, one of the interesting things he brought up 9/11. I was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe this was inspired by 9/11." Then it occurred to me, "Wait a minute. This was still before
Deep Space
9/11."
Nine is just so ahead of its
Yeah.
time.
Oh
Enterprise was
God,
the one
wait,
that was impacted by 9/11, not
did Deep
DS9.
Space Nine inspire 9/11? Was
Oh god.
Osama a big Star Trek?
Deep
That's a
Space
horrible joke. I'm sorry.
Nine.
Don't tell me they watched Deep Space Nine. Weird people aren't allowed to
No.
like things that I like.
No. But yeah, again, excellent two-parter.
And a
I
great
guess,
setup for later too, because this is the
yeah.
first mention of Red Squad, and they get a great
Oh
couple
yeah.
of episodes, like several seasons down the line, which I
Mhm.
love. It's like, is it a two-parter or one-parter when Red Squad comes back? It's two, right?
I want to say, I mean, there's a one-parter on Valiant, and I want to say to get mentioned again at some points.
Yeah,
Definitely Valiant though was a big one, but yeah.
that's the main
Oh,
thing
yeah,
I
it's an
remember Red
incredible
Squad
episode.
from.
Mhm. But still, I mean, it was great that was one of the things Deep Space Nine was great at. Like they'll just plant a seed of something and you won't even think about it. Then they bring it back and like really start exploring that idea. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. All right. So that's kind of our setup for Rise of Fascism. I thought it'd be fun to talk about like what are each of our favorite episodes from this lineup.
Oh, ooh,
I decided to throw it at you.
I think this
I
is
d-
this is a
mm.
difficult lineup to choose from
Yeah.
because they're all good.
Although I will be honest, for me, it's between Drumhead and Homefront Paradise Lost. As much as I like Demons and Terror Prime, I don't think it's quite at
Yeah,
the same
it's
level. I
between
don't.
those two for me too.
Mhm.
Think so. So Homefront is the part one, right?
Yeah,
Of
Homefront's part one.
the
Paradise Lost. I'm counting them as one episode though, but yeah, it's a
okay, okay.
two-parter. But
Just because of that image of the Starfleet officers on the streets, I think I need to go home front. Just because like that really hit home for me rewatching these episodes. So I think I got to give it to that.
yeah, that's a
That's
good
what's up.
image. That because that's just a chilling image to end that first part on. Just like, oh Jesus, that's fucked up. I love Drumhead though.
It's really good.
I will go for Drumhead just because they're so close, and you already went for Homefront Paradise Lost, so I'll go for Drumhead. What's your pick, Ashley?
I'll go for Gopher. Yeah.
Mm.
I'll go for. I
Gopher.
guess I'll go for Paradise Lost, but Drumhead is really good.
Yeah, Drumhead's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know the name. The shout out to the kid who played Simon Tarsus too, because he really made you feel sympathy for him.
We can go back.
But Terra Prime.
Also, I love like that orange dress thing
I'm telling
she's
you,
wearing.
we can go and figure out what his name is.
Oh.
So you don't have to be like, I don't know what his name is, but shout out to that kid.
I
like,
see.
We can
You're forcing me to be a bit more formal.
Okay.
Fine.
Spencer Garrett. There you go.
Spencer Garrett played Simon Tarsus. He did a good job.
Great movie name, by the way, too. Spencer Garrett. Like,
yeah, I couldn't exactly remember what his name was, but I like remember looking for him earlier when we were down here, and I was like, that is like an actor name. Spencer Garrett.
All right, so we got a couple episodes where Star Trek directly fought fascism, and this is where we're going to be hitting the original series because 2 of these episodes are actually original series. And we could have done more. In fact, if I really want to get creative, I probably could have made the whole list up of original series because despite what I said earlier, the original series was very political and very like on the nose with what it was talking about. It did not hold back.
There was no subtlety at
all.
all.
They were very, very preachy, which to its credit, it was largely preaching good stuff. So I was like down with it, know. So we're beginning with Mir. Essentially, a transporter accident launches Kirk, McCoy, Scotty, and Uhura to an alternate reality where instead of the Federation being kind of like this benevolent force that we see in the original series, it's a dictatorship. And we see, Kirk, Uhura, Scotty, and McCoy on the away mission on the original universe talking to this alien race. And they want some sort of treaty because they have a resource that the Federation could use. And the alien race is like, yeah, but we're concerned you guys might be aggressive. And we were absolutely pacifist and refused to ever engage in anything violent at all. And Kirk's like, well, we will help you with that way of life, and we'll even protect you. And they're like, yeah, we don't know if we even want to get involved. And, Kirk's like, yeah, we'll consider it, and the alien race seemed like, well, you guys could just conquer us. And Kirk's like, yeah, we're not going to do that. Don't worry. And then we go to the Mirror Universe, and then already the plan's like, yeah, we're going to conquer and destroy these people.
I love it.
Yeah, this is of course the classic episode where we get Spock with the beard. Chekhov tries to kill Kirk to get a promotion. We get scarred Sulu.
I love Sulu being evil in this one.
Yeah. Uhura does get a little bit to do where she doesn't usually get that much, but here she has to distract Sulu from the console show. Yep. I mean, he obviously has a thing for her, so she's like seducing him and then like pulling a knife on him. Oh yeah, here's one of the. You can tell he's an alien because he has a dot in his forehead.
Full proof.
That's clearly an alien.
Full proof.
Humans don't have dots on their foreheads. Come on.
I guess I should make the joke just to get out of the way. If I was Sulu, Uhura's abs would distract me too in this episode. Okay,
that is true. She is. Yeah. Holy shit.
Michelle Nichols looked incredible in this episode.
Yeah,
good for her.
Just like Jesus.
Imagine going to work in any of these outfits.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that like the whole time. I was like, imagine if you were like putting on your work uniform and it was like this, or even this. Like.
The Terran Empire. So yeah, this is the introduction of the Mirror Universe too, which is very cool. It does get overplayed later. Of course, there are some cool episodes with it later, but I will say of the Mirror Universe stuff, this is actually probably my favorite episode, just because it knows what's doing. Yeah, this is Uhura distracting him. First, she's like almost on his lap, like trying to seduce him, and then when he gets a little bit more like, "Hey, what's up?" That's when she pulls the knife. Like, fuck you, motherfucker.
I know. I do like it when Uhura gets to do something.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Mhm. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me open it up
That
for you guys.
outfit, man. The costume design.
Oh,
for
yeah, this is
episode
just
was
like-
very intriguing.
Dude, like there's times where women are dressed up in stuff in the original series, and I'm like,
What even
is she even
that?
wearing
Like,
anything?
what?
Like that looks almost like most of it's see-through, because that's like her legs right there. And I'm like,
This looks like an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so confused looking at this.
yeah, 'cause it does kind of look like a magic eye squint, and you'll see her underwear.
Like, I feel like I'm like looking
God.
through her into the back of
All
the
right.
room.
I think we're getting distracted. What are your guys'
Okay.
thoughts on Mir Mir?
It's a fun episode. It's
Yeah.
kind of funny how like such a throwaway thing became such a big thing in Star Trek, though I don't also think anyone expected Star Trek to quite become what it became.
No,
And
yeah.
it's fun, but it's kind of forgettable in like a way. Like, you know, you got the iconic moments. You got evil Spock. I love Chekhov trying to kill Kirk and all that. But then there's like Kirk is like giving narration for things that like literally just happened on screen. We saw them happen. And
Oh,
now
well,
he's describing them to us.
what you're talking about is the padding. So original series does suffer from from pretty significant padding in almost all their
Yeah.
episodes, where they have to get to like, to give you an idea of how much less commercials there were back then. So the original series was an hour-long show, but the actual show itself was 52 minutes. Unlike like modern shows, I think are like hour-long shows are actually 42 minutes. Give you an idea of how much more commercials are jamming at you now. So
That was a little
the
disturbing.
unfortunate fact is that there was more padding. Now that being said, I will happily take more padding in my Star Trek rather than more commercials.
I
Because
know
fuck.
the padding in TOS. I almost like don't question it because in my head it's just like, well, Kirk likes to listen to himself talk, you know.
Dude, Kirk. Okay, we're shockingly not talking about one of those, but like it's almost like mini genre in the original series of Kirk talking computers into blowing themselves up.
I've joked with you before about how like Kirk has like two responses to an emergency. He either A, attempts to seduce the nearest woman,
yes,
or B, he like tries to like talk them, or he tries to like talk them out of it, but like really intensely.
yeah. If it's a
He's always
computer,
like-
he will be talking it to
He
blowing
always
itself
has like
up.
this look in his eyes. He's like, and did you know?
Oh, well, you knocked that one out yourself that time.
Okay, well,
I think I appreciate this more than you, Lindsay, because I don't think it's forgettable. This is one of my favorites for a long time. I do enjoy like this. I will absolutely agree. This is fun. You know, you're just gonna keep on knocking it out, Ashley. You know, just
oh.
But yeah, this is a lot of cheesy fun, which a lot of the original series is like. Just the characters playing against type a lot, which I do appreciate. Of course, Kirk has a love interest of a beautiful woman because
he always does. He always does.
It's in his contract.
Spock is nice. You know, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
forgettable
like I
might
said,
have been harsh. I don't know what word I should have used, but forgettable might have been a little harsh. I
Yeah.
will take that back for the record. Okay.
But I mean, I'm not saying you have to take it back, but I am saying I disagree. I think this is awesome.
I do like this. I also think that we need to talk about like the salute and how obviously like the obvious resemblance to like the Nazi salute.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Like it's not the same thing, but like you kind of get to almost the same point.
Where are you getting
like,
a Nazi salute from that, Ashley?
It's
No.
you know, like
You see, this is the Elon Musk paradox because there's a first part to it before you put your hand out. So you see, it's a completely different thing. So it's not at all.
True. Yeah. It's obvious what they were going for here, although not as obvious as again the next episode we're going to be discussing. But yeah, yeah, I appreciate this. Yeah, it's just evil versions of the crew. I also do like how because in the transport accident, Kirk, Scotty, Uhura, and McCoy, the evil versions, the Terran Empire versions, are sent to our universe. I do like how that's like it's not even a B plot. It's just a quick scene. Spock's like, yeah, these guys are not our guys. We're capturing them. I'm taking control of the ship. We're gonna figure out what happened to our guys. It's like that's Spock. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do also like that the episode immediately, it's like it basically opens with them in the mirror universe. Like there's no preamble, there's no pretext, they're instantly there. Like I respect that kind of the bravery in the writing there.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that I do agree with you that I like when they cut over to like the mainline universe and Spock just like instantly has them in the brain.
Yeah, I wonder what
He
what
got
damage
them.
our doppelgangers are doing in our universe, and it's like, yeah, they're just in the brig. Spock's like, fuck
Spock
this,
is,
man.
Spock is too peak.
Yeah.
He's too cool for that.
I am not putting up with this shit. But yeah, I enjoy this one. Do we want to have any final thoughts? Or are we ready for the next one?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it as
The
well.
only trip to the mirror universe in the original series, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
this is it. This is the only trip to the mirror universe until Deep Space Nine's crossover.
Oh, I thought there wasn't one. I thought there was one in TNG. Oh, that's
Nope.
wild.
No,
Okay.
there's no TNG mirror universe one.
What?
DS9 did it one every season. I don't think there's a Voyager one, but then Enterprise
don't
did a
think so, yeah.
two-parter. And as much as I love Deep Space Nine, I did like, even though they're only doing it once a year, I did feel like towards the end, it's like, okay, I'm kind of done with this universe.
I
The
will
first
say,
one was fun, though.
I do think that it is kind of fun though, because
Yeah.
there's something glorious about seeing all of your favorite characters, but like they're evil
Yeah.
and bisexual and they wear
Yeah.
eyeshadow.
That's true. Bisexual Kira was great. But that brings us to the most subtle episode of all, which is Patterns of Force, late in season 2 of the original series. This is the episode where they literally land on the planet and there's literal Nazis there. And the Kirk and Spock are on the planet and they're like, were those fucking Nazis? Like, the fuck are they doing here?
It's interesting because when they went in there,
Yeah.
like I hadn't even like seen like really like a whole lot of the uniforms.
Yeah.
I just saw like they're harassing this guy stopping around and see like the boots come up, and I was like, yeah, this is like pretty heavy-handed. And then they like go up, and I see like the armband, and I'm like,
Yeah, they're literal Nazis. Like, I'm not
that's
even
wild.
like, this isn't even the mirror universe where it's like, oh yeah, they're very Nazi. Like, no, they're fucking Nazis on this planet. And what they discover is they're looking for, I don't remember the name of this dude.
John
It's like a-
Gall?
John Gill. Yeah,
John
Gill.
Gill.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a scientist they're looking for, and they haven't had contact with him. So they go to a planet where he was at to reestablish communication. It was supposed to be like a primitive planet, so no, not supposed to know they're there essentially. And they stumble across Nazis, and essentially they find out that John Gill, like, there's lots of problems on this planet, and he decided to get himself involved, and he decided he would use Nazism to get the people in order. But like, he was like, I'm going to be a benevolent ruler, so like the Nazi stuff won't be evil, we won't be persecuting anybody because I'll be benevolent with it.
He just wanted to get them together and
Mhm.
get their crap in check. But then, of course, because it's Nazism, it does Nazi stuff.
Because Nazi is Nazi. Yeah,
Nazi.
because so essentially somebody else usurps John Gill and starts using the Nazism to do Nazi crap and persecuting a different race. Zion, yeah, that seems right. Yeah, I think they're called Zions or something like that.
Oh wait, that's like really on the nose.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
I don't
really
know.
on the
I don't
nose.
know if you're aware
What?
of this.
Are we like sure?
Star
That's like
Trek
that's
is not
throwing it
something-
off so
I
hard.
don't. Yeah, I now I think about it, I don't know if it's that on the nose, but it's something.
Yeah, like,
it's something really
'cause
similar
I
to
feel
that.
like I would have noticed that.
It's really similar
Let
to that.
me-
Yeah,
Let me.
I
look
think it's
this up.
Xeon,
it might be.
Zeon.
Yeah, I
or-
think it might be. Yeah,
They might be
Xeon.
pronouncing it differently, and that's what threw me off.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Although
No.
what's funny
Oh,
is
yeah,
I never
it's
made the connection
ZEON.
between.
yeah, but yeah, it's definitely what they're going for, because the original series is not subtle. Like, anybody who argues Star Trek was never political, just like, what the fuck are you talking about? It is the most in-your-face stuff I've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I remember one of the things that I noticed and I pointed out to you was that when we met like some of the people from Xeon, they had like their
Mhm.
names were like very similar to like the names of very prominent figures from like the Old Testament. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Mhm.
Ooh.
Which I can't remember. Let me look this up again. Because I remember it being like, that's like that name. And then the other guy introduced himself, and I'm like, that's like that name.
A little bit of trivia about this. So both William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy are Jewish. So
Yes.
they were
Ooh.
very they went along with it, but they were not thrilled about wearing Nazi uniforms for this episode. They were just like, oh, and
Fair.
yeah, and
Understandable.
this was 20 years after that. Like lots of World War II people are still alive, and plenty of people who fought in World War II worked on this show, I'm sure. So yeah, there's lots of apprehension about that. That being said, overall, this is very much a message episode. It's pretty much a message. And I'll talk about the message before I talk about my overall thoughts. But it's overall message that like I think is really good. Like even for today's day, essentially the message is you don't go a little Nazi. You can't do that. That's the overall
You
message of
never go a
this.
little Nazi.
Yeah, you can't
Okay.
go a little Nazi. Yeah.
So I found it. So it's Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and then Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
There
Oh,
we go.
and there's also the element where like John Gill's giving a speech, and it's not actually him giving the speech because he's the microphone in front of his mouth.
Yeah.
But they're talking about how like his speech is almost gibberish. Like he's talking about
Yep.
that we have to stop the Xeon invaders and stuff like that. It's stuff you'd expect, but like he's almost not saying anything. And it's very reminiscent of not only Nazi speeches, but spoiler, also Trump speeches.
I know.
Um,
I know. Actually, I had a conversation with you about this because
Yeah.
I've read, and don't quote me on this, but I have read that Mein Kampf is apparently like so like poorly written and so nonsensical that it's extremely difficult to translate into English
mhm.
because you either A have to find some really elaborate like interesting way to like somehow translate like the grammar errors in German to English,
Mhm.
or you have to like try to find a way to make it make sense.
Mhm.
So like
So you're just screwed either way.
yeah.
Oh yeah, guys, what are your thoughts on this episode? I haven't opened it up yet.
Go ahead, Ashley. And I think I led last time. It's all you.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of I think it obviously it's very blatant in
Yes.
what it wants to say. And like to a certain extent, I think there's some people that kind of just need to have stuff thrown in their face. Like
Mhm.
media literacy is like people have very questionable amounts of it. And so every now and then I think having something where they just full on say what they want to say,
Yeah.
basically, I think is very good. And I think that there's lots of thought put into the details of this. Like I was saying,
Yeah.
we have like
Mhm.
the Xeon people, and then Abram and Isaac,
Mhm.
and I really, and then the thing where like the speech, like he's saying stuff,
Yeah.
but none of the stuff that he's saying like really like makes sense, and it's just kind of like word salad,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate all of those little details in this.
Mhm.
And yeah, all in all, I'd say I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
What do you think, Lindsay?
Right there with you guys. I had so much fun with this. Like I
Yeah.
understand Leonard and Leonard and Nimoy, Leonard and William,
Leonard and
not
Nimoy.
really wanting to wear the Nazi uniforms.
Yeah.
I 100% understand that. But I loved how much of this episode was like musical clothing, which is people like knocking
Yeah.
someone out, putting their clothing on,
Yes.
knocking someone else out, putting their clothing on. That was just such slapstick hilarity. I was howling. It was so good.
What?
And then
I love-
I go ahead.
I love that you said Leonard and Nimoy.
Yeah.
He starred aside himself.
Yeah.
He played both of the main
The
roles.
best actor the best actor ever that he just plays everything.
And he had such good
I'm the first
chemistry
person to
with
notice. What can
Yeah.
I say?
himself, that he spawned fan fiction.
Yeah, I would say to add this, while I love the message of this, I will say this is one of those episodes that does drag quite a bit. When it pops, it pops. Like there's this weird thing where they have this okay, so like it's introduced early on. It's like, okay, we're going into unknown territory. We're going to inject ourselves with this device so that way, if need be, we can be quickly retrieved. And I'm like, wait, you don't do that every mission? Like the fuck? Like why are you just doing this now? But yeah, they take out the crystals with this like strap from the bed and then use it to make a laser, and it's really weird and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
I like barely, my brain like just like glossed over that. I was like,
of course,
whatever.
There is this classic moment because like to get to this height, like Spock is on Kirk's shoulders and Kirk's like, okay, do it quickly, you're kind of heavy, and Spock is literally just trolling him, just taking his time, and it's kind of hilarious because listen, as much as I wish they focused a bit more on Scotty, Uhura, Chekhov, and Sulu, especially the bottom three, because Scotty does get a little bit in the original series. It is the McCoy, Spock, and Kirk show. But I do love their chemistry. Like the three of them have great moments where they give each other shit all the time.
They just piss each other off constantly. But the love is there.
Yeah, they love each other, but they are troll each other regularly. It's kind of great.
I'm trying to remember, what is the line that Shatner says? It's something like, "I don't care if it can hit a broadside of a barn," as he's clearly in pain, and Spock's like, "Why would I shoot the laser at such a structure right now, Captain?"
Yes, he is trolling him. It's like, oh, you Spock.
Spock being a little bit evil in this scene.
But yeah, like they talk about not wanting to wear the Nazi uniform, but I understand why they did, because the moral of this episode is unbelievably clear, where it's just like, yeah, Nazi bad. This is bad. You don't do this. This is a terrible idea. And
the fact that the message is like literally like, look, some things worked for them, but it wasn't worth it in the long run. Like, because you can't separate this from this. It's all kind of all tied together. And it's just you don't open the genie, man. Don't make a wish on that monkey paw. Just don't do
yeah, I mean, it's like it's even brought up how like the German government was like one of, or they might even say the most efficient government ever during this time period. And Kirk was just like, yeah, but the price was way too fucking high.
What
So
were they
no,
doing,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then it's like the whole thing where it's like the big like rallying cry though, and the way that they kept everyone together during that period of time was just like racism.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I don't know, guys.
Yeah, maybe bad.
Maybe let's aim a little bit higher.
But yeah, I think I wish the episode was a bit more I guess entertaining. Like there's lots of points where it drags. Like this suffers from original series drag quite a bit. But like when this episode pops, it pops. And I just love the premise and the moral of it too. That gives it lots of bonus points in my opinion. I just love how in your face it is with it. Like it doesn't, like it's about fucking Nazis. So it's not holding that back at all. Yeah, I say overall I enjoy this episode, although spoiler, I will say this is probably my least favorite of the episodes we've covered so far. But
That's okay.
I do get
Anything
what
you
you
guys
mean
wanna
about the
add?
dragging the feet thing, because every time I watch this episode, there's that moment where they're like, "Okay, give him a sedative; it'll wake him up." And it's like, "Okay, he's partially awake. Do we give him another sedative? I don't know. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not." This is like,
Yeah.
just have the first sedative work. Why do we need to pad this out?
Yes.
So much?
I didn't think
But
about that.
it's
That
like-
was padding, yeah.
Yeah.
They got him
But
to a point where like they got him sedative, so like he wasn't awake, but he could answer questions, and it was like, okay,
Right.
so you ask him something, he's just answering the questions. Like that's weird. What sedative are you giving, or not sedative, but what are you giving him to wake him up to that point? That's weird.
Why are our brains
Also,
wired in this way?
right?
Um,
I feel like Spock should use that more often too. It seems like a very useful ability.
yeah. And speaking of Nazis, we have our next episode in lineup. We're jumping to Voyager, guys. This is actually the only appearance of Voyager in this list. But The Killing Game, another Star Trek episode where they're fighting Nazis. Although these ones are holographic Nazis, so they're not actual real Nazis, unlike the original series.
Yeah.
I do feel like an argument can be made that the holodeck was kind of used, like in the original series, they came across lots of planets that had cultures that were just exactly like human cultures in different time periods. I feel like in the later series, that's what they use the holodeck for, and thought of some reason, oh, it's shut down and the safeties don't work or whatever, so we can have an adventure in this environment. I feel like that's what they're doing here. Overall, this is one of those the two parts from Voyager I enjoy quite a bit. So the ship is captured by the Hirogen. And the Hirogen are found out the holodeck, and they're like, oh, we love hunting, and you have this holodeck, and if we turn off the safeties, we can hunt anything we fucking want. And they're going through like the historical database, and they have like this Klingon program running and this World War II program running, and they're just like playing around with the holodeck while the Voyager crew is getting injured and maimed and killed throughout all this.
Yeah.
I like the setup. Overall, like I think I've even said this before on the stream. My biggest complaint about this will always be the beginning, where they have the teaser and the Klingon program, and then we see how the ship's captured and how like, oh, okay, we're moving Janeway to the World War II program. That's the teaser. I'm like, oh, that's such a missed opportunity. The opening of this should pretty much just be like Seven at the Lounge singing, and you just have we see the Voyager characters in this World War II setting. You know, just acting it out, and we're like, okay, they're obviously on the holodeck. You know, leave the audience trying to piece it together exactly what's going
You're
on.
just watching them doing it, and you're like, wow, they are like,
Yeah, they're
really into
committed to the
this.
role. And then the first clue would be when we see the Nazis walk in, and one of them's Herodian, and we're like, oh, that's not right. You know, let us piece it together a bit slower, and then I think like the better way to reveal this would be, instead of revealing right at the beginning, reveal it when Neelix and Seven are shot, and then they're taken out of sickbay. Then we start seeing the other elements and start going, oh, okay, this is what's going on.
Really cool, honestly. I would have been super down for that.
Yeah.
I love this episode.
Yeah, I'm all for, like, if you can leave the audience in mystery to exactly what's going on, I'm all for taking that avenue and just riding it out, you know? That being said, I still do love these episodes. These are classic. I'll admit, I'm not even the biggest Voyager fan, but I do like these. And I think the biggest fascist, like, you could argue maybe it doesn't have a whole lot to do with Nazis because it's just them running a program. But there is a story, a major plot point, where the second Herodian in command, because the first Herodian has this grand idea for the holodeck of taking it to a species, and then that way they can still do the hunt, but then they could just like explore the galaxy like normal fucking people when they're not in the holodeck, and just, they can still cling to their culture, but maybe not hunt and kill every alien species they come across, and just maybe talk to people once in a while.
Yeah.
Just a way to evolve their species.
This is one of those episodes where I watch it and I think to myself, how did Harry Kim not get promoted after this?
Yeah, let me I haven't opened it up yet. What do you guys think? You guys talk about this.
This is one of my personal favorites as a kid. Like in middle school, I'd always stay up late to watch Star Trek Voyager, and it would be these episodes that I get so excited. But well, first of all, just like the Herodians look so good in those uniforms, man.
Yeah.
The whole design for the Herodian, I wish they were used more. They're one of my favorite Voyager species just in general. So I like that. Also, the Herodian played by the Herodian that hangs out in sickbay with the Doctor. That's Mark Metcalf, also from Buffy, the Master from season 1.
Oh, hey, okay.
Bring it full circle.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Can I bounce off on you for a moment? One of the big things that I actually, this is a very non-fascism related observation, but one of the big things that I think of when I remember this episode is that I really like the costuming and the styling and the designs in this.
Yeah.
Like, everyone looks really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like they must have had a good costuming really budget and set like I wonder if there was like a maybe a World War II movie shooting nearby or something, or if they just built those sets, because like it looks good.
It really does.
Yeah, they did a good job, with this.
And a personal favorite moment of the whole series for me is Tom Paris just walking down the street being like, 1945 slang, 1945 slang, just like having the time of his life. It's very fun. But we kind of get on subject here. Like comparing the Nazis to the Herodian is a really interesting idea, because the way that like the Herodians like dehumanize other species or de-specify, you know, like anything that's intelligent that isn't Herodian is just their prey, and to Nazis, anything that's not a Nazi is, just either needs to be killed or put in a concentration camp. So there is like a good parallel there, which is I think creates a really good backbone for these episodes.
Yeah, and that's something they really explored the second episode, because this is like the second in command, and he really gets influenced by one of the Nazi programs, who's essentially saying, "Yeah, we the German people, we are the superior. We shouldn't be talking to the inferior people. They're chattel to us essentially." And he really like
He's
he
into that.
signs up for that. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah. And of course, like the hologram doesn't realize he's not talking to a German, but like this guy in his mind is like, yeah, fuck yeah, the Hirogen are superior. Fuck these other species, you know. And then it really brings that fascism point home because he is not long after that he's quick to kill his captain and take command because he's like he is not down for this being civil and talking to other aliens and exploring the galaxy normally bullshit the captain is talking about. Fuck evolving the Hirogen. And I do kind of agree with you, Lindsay. I kind of wish the Hirogen were used a bit more. I kind of wish they'd evolved him a bit more too. But like, when it comes to aliens, like original alien species, I think the Hirogen was probably the best original species that Voyager came up with. And they ended up relying on the Borg, in my opinion, way more than they should have. I think they kind of also probably evolved species 8472 into something more interesting, but they didn't go that route. And that computer graphic stuff has aged terribly. So Hirogen looked better than that, at least.
I'm a big sucker for species 8472, but man, the technology was just not there to do them.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
I really like about Deep Space Nine and how it does that is it sort of creates like this, like we have sort of like the wormhole into the different quadrant, and so then they can sort of have like their own spunky little extra cast of aliens, and I think that's fun. They do stuff though do good stuff with the ones that they take from other shows. Deep Space Nine is good.
Yeah, Deep Space Nine is good. Yeah, well, Deep Space Nine is the only one. Like they were told like Cardassians are obviously from TNG, but they were like a species they liked from TNG, and they really do a great job with them. But
all of like this, I feel like all of like the species that are used in like Deep Space Nine, like they feel like fully actualized groups and stuff like that, each with like their own unique like cultural identities and stuff like that. It's really nifty.
I mean, it won't have taken too long, but like one of the when I was thinking of like the fight against fascism, which is kind of this segment with Mirror Patterns of Force and then Killing Game, I could have also included the Dominion War, which is just the last 2 years of Deep Space Nine, but that is because
let's just watch the entirety of Deep Space
Nine. The entirety. We'll just watch the last 2 years because they'll like when they were asked to make their own alien race, they came up with 3 alien races and they called them the Dominion and made them this anti-Federation that is just like, instead, kind of like the Mirror Universe where the Federation is more benevolent. They're the fascist race. They're like, we're just conquering. You join the Dominion or you die, essentially.
Oh, I was thinking about that. I want to say like a couple months ago or something like that, because they kind of serve as like this foil to the Federation in a way that I think is really fun.
Yeah, and it's like
it's so good.
By the way, in case you guys haven't noticed, Deep Space Nine is the best rich in Star Trek. I'm just saying.
You have like this thing where like in the Federation there's this big idea of sort of like unity and everyone's together and everyone's equal, Whereas in like the Dominion there's like a very set up hierarchy.
Yeah.
And
It's like a straight up like really religious oligarchy. Like it's like taking it to a whole other level. It's which is a great inverse of the oh my god, what are they called? The Bajorans, because they're all like religious and nice. And then we got the Dominion, which is religious and mean. Sorry, I cut you off.
And you have like there's like a very like succinct, like obvious hierarchy in the way that things are done. Like you have like obviously you have the changelings at the top who are literally deified by the other species. Then you have the Vorta, and then the Vorta are like literally like basically almost like in charge of like the Jem'Hadar. Like they're the ones that distribute like the drug that they need to live. And it's.
So what you're saying is that the Bajorans are
good. I'm so off track.
So what you're saying is that the Bajorans are like Christians, and then the Dominion's like Christian nationalist.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, Cisco is obviously Jesus. It makes perfect sense to me. I'm
true.
I know. I do think about Deep Space Nine through that lens sometimes, and it's interesting. It's an interesting read.
But yeah, we are a while off from Killing Game, which is a different series. But this is definitely one of the stronger Voyager outings, in my opinion. And this is like, even if you're not looking at the themes, like just as a premise, this is fun. Like the Voyager crew trapped in this World War II setup fighting Nazis. I'm so game for that. Like, yes, let's do that. That sounds like fun.
I'm certain you can like really tell watching this podcast that we all really like Deep Space Nine, because we'll just
I
like
can't tell.
we'll randomly be talking about something and we'll be like, and then think of how Deep Space Nine did something similar and they crushed it.
And this is like the super Nazi program that
Yeah.
convinces the second in command that you should be more fascist, motherfucker.
Yes.
I just want to call this guy out for a second too, like because he is so good, man.
Yeah.
Like, did he like hate himself every time they stopped filming? Did he have to like just go sit in
Yeah.
a corner for a minute and just
Yeah,
deal with the
between
evil
every
things
scene
he
he had to take a shower. Because he plays this like despicable despicable character, but he does it so well. Yeah.
The camera turns off and he just immediately starts.
He's like,
crying. He's crying. He's full of shame.
Let's look up that.
in his speech, honestly,
wait,
like to the Herodian to get it to like join to go full Nazi is like it's the moment that made me really want to make sure that this episode was, even though it was already on the list, I had to make sure that this episode was on the list because like it's such a great moment for communicating like how seductive and how easily seductive like these kind of like hate-based movements can be when you're talking about how like I'm the better, I am the superior, I am the one who should be in charge. It's a really good way to get people to be like, yeah, I should be. It's just such an easy way to get people, man. Sorry.
Real quick, I know, Ashleen, you want to say something? I just want to say this guy's name is J. Paul Boheimer.
Oh, yeah. No.
What's his name?
No. Okay, so
Boheimer?
It's not. Boheimer would be spelled like completely differently.
Okay, well, what's his name? Get it right.
Okay,
right.
well, like if I'm assuming that this is like a German name, oh god, I don't listen. I'll just say Bomer. I'll just say Bomer.
Okay, J. Paul
like,
Bomer. Okay, I just want to give him a shout out because he does a great job. You know right now. I'm terrible with names. I've always said this on stream. I'm terrible with names. No disrespect, man. No.
Be like adding like some vowels in there if it was Boheimer.
True. I suspect you're right. Yeah.
Well, oh yes. You were talking about how like I was going to talk about how there is like a sort of a history with lots of like fascist warmongering regimes and stuff like that, where they put a lot of effort and a lot of time and investment into sort of like an aesthetic to it. Like there'll be lots of money put into having like a cool looking uniform, you know, and stuff like that, which is kind of interesting in the sort of the way that it sort of uses. I don't know. I thought it definitely lined up with what Lindsay was saying, and I think it's a interesting thing to learn.
All right. Well, that's it for this set in the Fight Against Fascism set. What are our favorites from this set? So it's Mirror Mirror, Patterns of Force, or Killing Game. I'll go ahead and say, as much as I like Patterns of Force set the bomb for me, as much as I appreciate it, and as much as I think Mirror Mirror's classic, I think I'm going Killing Game on this one. I think
I personally would go Mirror Mirror. I just think it's kind of fun to watch.
No, they're both. I would say all three of these are fun to watch. Yeah, I don't know.
I think Mirror Mirror
surprisingly fun considering the subject material.
yeah.
I'm with you though, Bob. Definitely Killing Game. Just because, like I meant, as a kid, I didn't really. I mean, obviously, I understood Nazi bad, but like the fact that it's one of those things that, like, oh, I enjoyed this as a kid, and it's super smart, always gets me like extra points. You know, like so. I think it's this one.
Well, yeah, I think I'm revealing my age. I was a teenager when this came out, but still, I enjoyed it as a teenager. I was like, fuck yeah.
Old. Who said that?
Young. You weren't even born yet. You weren't even born. But yeah, this is just a fun two-parter, and I think it feels weird actually saying I prefer Voyager to original series, because in general I prefer the original series over Voyager. But yeah, Killing Game is just awesome. You know. And that brings
Tom Paris doing 1945 slang. You know, gets it so many points.
Yeah. Tons of bonus points.
Yes.
Neelix gets shot. What more do you want?
That's true.
Yeah, I know in that scene where he's getting like questioned by like the Nazis and stuff like that, I'm watching that and it's like, this is the most I've ever liked Neelix ever.
Yeah. All right, and so that brings us to we're going to be talking about the byproducts of fascism. This is a really fun set of episodes. We're starting with the Enterprise episode Detained, which is probably the funnest of this set. Oh yeah. So this is an episode where Archer and Mayweather they wake up and they're essentially in this prison camp holding Suliban. The prison camp is run by Admiral Grat, played by Dean Stockwell, and I know, like, Dean Stockwell and Scott Bakula acting together in a show, weird, right? Like that would never happen. But
Crazy.
yeah.
Man.
But anyways, yeah, there's Suliban here, and they deal with the Suliban quite a bit. So they've just made these camps where they keep the Suliban there. And Archer at first, he thinks it's a part of the Cabal because, Enterprise, the Cabal is the main villain they've been dealing with. And he's like, okay, so these guys are all part of the Cabal. And he sees this kid there and he's like, oh, they got this kid in the Cabal. And then Archer starts realizing a bit more about the Suliban, how like they're just, the Cabal is like a faction. It's like a separate group. It doesn't represent all the Suliban. And these people are just capturing all the Suliban because they could join the Cabal.
Yeah.
And Archer's going, oh, that's not right. What do you guys think of this
Am
episode?
I the bad guy?
Yeah. Archer.
This was
one moment where Archer goes, "Am I the jerk?"
It's gonna happen sooner or later, right? You
Yeah.
can't always know. The fun is not a good descriptor of this episode because it's pretty bleak, but it's pretty good and pretty relevant. It's kind of hard to not watch this episode and not kind of identify with some of the stuff that's going on these days with like the camps and stuff. It's pretty dark.
I mean, this is obviously, they again, Star Trek, not known for its subtlety. Archer makes a direct comparison between this camp and the American Japanese internment camps in World War II. Obviously, there's a new parallel with the camps for the Mexican refugees and stuff that we now have in this country. Great repeating history.
We're very normal and healthy here.
I do appreciate that we have that they're like addressing this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like lots of people, especially, I mean, to be fair, I've lived here my entire life. I don't really have any basis for comparison. Mm-hmm. But like, I find that people tend to be people here tend to be very wary of addressing like anything bad that our country has ever done. Like they always need to play it off a little bit. And I personally find it to be very offensive and yucky.
Yeah.
It makes me mad.
Well, I mean,
like, I distinctly remember when I was like when I was little and I found out about like the like atomic, like the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I remember, I think I like cried for like 10 minutes or something like that. It was like terrifying. And I'm still like so taken aback when I hear people try to like defend it and stuff like that. It's like, oh, well, like the war had to end somehow. And it's like, I understand that. But like, maybe we shouldn't try to justify what was like,
yeah.
Like,
it's alarming how many people don't like to try and take responsibility for the past and the history these days, and I understand it.
Yeah, no, I like you. I mean, there's a lot of darkness in everybody's past, but the United States past has a lot of darkness, and I think it's important to address it and not repeat it. It's important to recognize that and say, hey, do we want to do that again, rather than just ignore it?
I know I've gotten into like some like pseudo like arguments with like people in history class because they were like downplaying like the Japanese internment camps and they were like, oh, well, it's not really that big of a deal. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Well, I think it makes sense for Star Trek in particular to really tackle this just because George Takei was in one of those camps when he was a child. So it makes sense for a franchise like Star Trek to be like, yeah, we're going to address this and say this was wrong. And like, it makes that direct parallel. Like, yeah, these internment camps were wrong. And
did George Takei write or direct this episode, or was
I don't think he had anything to do with that. I just think it's an interesting parallel. But listen, this is a season 1 Enterprise episode. And I was shocked rewatching the series. I was like, wow, this is actually a really good one. And I actually like Archer in this one. Like, this still has angry Archer, But instead of getting angry at T'Pol for dumb shit, he's getting angry at Dean Stockwell, who is straight up villain mode in this episode, pretty much. He is a jerk. And Archer getting pissed at him, I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like Archer being indignant and just being incredibly Archer to him. It's like, I get it.
Well, like, what's the line that he has at one point where it's just like, "So we can leave?" And the guy's like, "I don't have the authority to let you go." And it's like, "Oh,
yeah.
this is going in a very specific direction."
Mhm.
Okay, so
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting. Like they do give us a little bit of backstory about the Suliban here, and we learn about how
yeah.
they are refugees, and kind of bring it back to a lot of American stuff. They're refugees. They don't have a home, and they're kind of scattered throughout the planet. And you know, there's Suliban who were born on this planet that Grat's from. I don't remember the name of the species, but like Suban who are born, who made their homes there because they were accepting refugees for a while, and now they're just being thrown in these camps because they might join the cabal. And it's like, yeah, that's really disgusting. And this is just one of those bangers from like this is probably, in my opinion, the best Enterprise episode from season 1. But yeah,
Probably.
this is there's some decent stuff in season 1. There's some shit in season 1 too. But yeah, this one's just a solid banger in my opinion. I enjoy this. I enjoy having Reed get dressed up as a Suliban so he can sneak around the camp. They give Mayweather some stuff to do, which hey, we actually discussed 2 episodes this stream where Mayweather had stuff to do, which is weird, right? He's usually
There's
just
no
the guy
Mayweather.
who's there. Yeah. But yeah,
And
I
actually, so
enjoy this.
this is actually another good for one other reason too that I really appreciated, and it's the clip that you're putting up right now. So if you're about to say this, I apologize. But T'Pol has a really good scene in this episode where she's like negotiating with the
Oh
guy
yeah.
while
Oh
like
yeah.
piggybacking the hack signal in. That was a great scene.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
gets a great scene in this episode.
Yeah, she's like, hey, you know, we want to be friendly. Yeah, that's right. She calls him up and she's like, hey, I want to invite you over for dinner. And he's like, the fuck, I told you to leave. And she's like, well, we're preparing a really great dinner for you. And he's like, no, I want you to leave. And she's like, oh man, you're misunderstood. We just mean to be nice. Listen, we're gonna send you all our cultural databases to help you out. And like he's like, you're overloading my signal. And she's like, oh, you know what? I'm being selfish. Let me send you the Vulcan database too. And during all this, they're actually transporting Reed down. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's awesome.
I know. I really liked that scene. I was like, I was so into
They're
that.
just sending him fucking everything so they
So,
can sneak Reed in the background.
So, like, do you have any dietary restrictions?
Yeah, I do believe that is brought up. It's like, oh my
Are you
God.
vegan?
we will make sure we will make something that you'll enjoy. Yeah, this is just a solid episode. Listen, man, if Enterprise was like this more regularly, it would probably be one of my favorite Star Trek series up there with Deep Space Nine. It's not there, but like more episodes like this would have been like, fuck yeah. Yeah.
What they need to do is they just need to bring back that guy again who's never worked with Scott Bakula ever, and just
Yeah,
have him
Dean
be in
Stockwell,
every
yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Maybe he could be like a hologram that Scott Bakula sees, but only he could see.
Wait, we're striking gold here. We shouldn't be writing stuff for these people for free.
Yeah, yeah. We should get paid for this. I also like that's the other thing. So like Dean Stockwell's now one of those actors who always plays a villain except in Quantum Leap. So of course, you know, he gets to play the villain here as well. So yeah. Yeah, I enjoy this one. Oh, next up is Chain of Command. This is the funnest one. So this is primarily like we talked about part 1, but primary focus is part 2. But like part 1 is Picard has expertise in theta radiation, so they contact him and they immediately take the Enterprise from him and put Jellicoe in charge. And he has gone on a mission with Beverly and Worf to figure out if the Cardassians are making a mutagenic weapon. And it's all like, I feel like part 1's a lot of setup for part 2, because part 2 is where we get a lot of the gems. Because, like, you know, the mutagenic weapon's all a trap. They capture Picard, Worf and Beverly get away. And episode 2 is David Warner as a Cardassian. Fucking, I love David Warner and everything. He's such a great actor. But he tortures Picard, and this is a really uncomfortable episode, honestly. Like David Warner is just menacing, and Patrick Stewart is
Yeah.
acting his ass off as the torture victim. Um, but yeah, I wanted to add this kind of because it shows the dehumanizing aspects to fascism. But like, what do you guys think? Thoughts?
Oh, I
always love me some Cardassians, so I'm automatically in just for that.
Mhm.
And the factoid I learned just before we went live was this was the last. So like they showed this episode of Next Generation,
Mhm.
and then or maybe not like right after it, but this is the last episode of Next Generation to premiere before Deep Space Nine premiered, the Cardassian series.
And I
So
know
that's kind of neat.
while I was watching this, I was actually thinking about how the Cardassians were later utilized in Deep Space Nine. I thought that this was sort of a really good, like, sort of setup for how they would be, and I guess I didn't realize how very likely it was that one of the writers on the show intended that.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
the writers I did hear they did like working with the Cardassians, which is part of what they worked with Deep Space Nine because they built in TNG. They introduced the Bajorans, and they introduced so the Bajorans are an occupied race by the Cardassians, and yeah, they just kind of liked exploring kind of essentially the fascism of the Cardassians and how it plays against the Federation, which
one of
no Star Trek does that. So
one of my favorite scenes in this episode is when the dude what's his face is like he like
dude, what's
brings
his face?
dude, it's like, dude what's his face.
That's his
But
professional
he's-
name.
But he's talking with like he brings his daughter like into the
Oh
room,
yeah,
and he's just like talking to her like very casually.
yeah.
And I think I still remember like the first time I saw that, and I'm like, why is she in there? And then like he goes on, he talks about it, and she's like, oh well, she's been taught from a young age about the Empire's enemies,
Mhm.
and what happens to them. And I remember I saw that, and I was like,
It-
whoa.
I mean, I think it's kind of amazing they actually dressed Picard because, like, it wasn't
Yeah.
long before that we saw them like literally like just hang Picard up by his hands and strip him naked and just leave him there. And it's
Yeah.
like Jesus Christ.
What's the
and
line he says? Did you sleep well or something like that? When
Yeah.
Picard's just been all night long.
yeah. And like even when he's released, like there's this thing where it's like he can't lower his hands, and I do like how Patrick Stewart adds that touch where it's like he's just so uncomfortable. It's like,
Forgot about that. Yeah, they can't lower the hands thing. Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done that thing where you put your hands in the doorway and you press out, and then you step away, your arms just kind of raise up a little bit?
Yeah. Well,
It's
not directly related to the torture or anything, but like I did think this was wild. So like Jellicoe and Riker don't get along like at all in this, and he relieves Riker of command, and it's like, okay, so Data would take over, and like the very next shot, Data's in a red uniform, and it's like, whoa, would he get a new uniform that fast too? That's wild. New
I mean,
uniform.
my eternally based jelly company was truly getting the fits out for all the characters. We got Data, and then we got Deanna as
Mhm.
well.
Oh yeah,
Also
so
got a normal fit.
another bit of trivia. So the reason, like Jelly Company,
My
Jellicoe.
eternally based show.
Jellicoe orders that Troy has to wear her formal uniform on the bridge, and that line was literally included because Marina Sirtis was sick of wearing the stupid outfits they were putting her in and wanted to wear the normal Starfleet uniform on the show, and she wears it from the rest of the show onward.
That's
Picard came back and was
incredible.
like, you know what? Good decision.
Yeah. He was like, I didn't want to say anything, but like those outfits were weird, man. What were you wearing?
Jellicle, man, like the hero what we deserved, but not the one we wanted, man.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah.
Also, just dude's a good actor. Who Ronnie Moore
Ronnie
or
Cox. Ronnie Cox.
Ronnie Cox. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
dude,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's been in like everything. Like
Right.
I know off the top of my head, RoboCop and Total Recall scream in my head when I think of Ronnie Cox. But yeah.
Well, that's right.
Also, he was in Prodigy as
it.
Jellicoe.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say we had RoboCop earlier and we didn't even call it out. That's hilarious. What were you gonna say though?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we had Peter Weller too. So we have two actors from RoboCop in this set.
Oh, that was where, because you were saying that I had
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was in RoboCop. Yeah, you've seen
He
RoboCop.
looked familiar to me, but I wasn't like.
Well, you
I
also
wasn't
like we were
familiar.
at his panel. At
Yeah, we
Cincinnati Comic
were. That's
Expo,
why
yeah.
That's why I said that he looked familiar to
Oh.
me. I distinctly remember he had a cool panel. He
Yeah.
did. I distinctly remember he started like talking about like college age students and about how they should do this, and he made like really intense eye contact with me.
Yeah.
It's like staring me down.
Yeah, I mean, flashing back to a bit, but Peter Weller's panel at Cincinnati Comic Expo was kind of wild. So like when we went to the panel to sit down, like he comes up to the stage and he's definitely kind of older, and he almost felt like he was almost hobbling on stage. I was like, oh God, I hope he's okay. I hope this will be an all right panel. And then the panel actually starts, and he like takes the microphone, he goes to the front of the stage, and he commands the panel from that moment on.
Yeah.
And he like, I was like, oh, he's in fine shape. And he's talking about how essentially the whole point of the panel that he wanted to get across, like, because he answers some quick RoboCop trivia real fast. He's like, okay, I want to get this out of the way because I have a point I want to make. And then he's talking about essentially how, essentially books and education are like the most important thing, and anybody trying to restrict those things from you is your enemy, and you should not be listening to that person. That's a bad person. You need to learn. Essentially that was the huge point when make the panel. Was like, oh,
he literally, he was talking for. It was literally like 5 seconds of him talking, and I was like zoned in on this guy. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Wait. So just to clarify, was that Ronnie Cox or
oh, it was Peter Weller. Peter Weller. Yeah.
Oh, that's badass. I mean, it would have been cool either way, but like, it's like go RoboCop, man. That's sick.
Yeah.
I think I'd be like forever talking about how my eternally based jelly company was eternally based in.
Yeah. But yeah, there's the B plot with Ronnie Cox in charge of the Enterprise, and they're working on. And I'll be honest, like Jellicoe frustrates me as a captain because I don't even necessarily disagree with a lot of decisions he makes, but like the way he does it, like the way he is so quick to anger with the Cardassians. I know he's doing it theatrically, but I don't think it works well. I think he loses control very quickly the way he does it.
And also, like, his complete commitment to not listening to anything that Riker has to say is, like, bizarre.
So, like,
he's there, so a big part of why he's there is so that he can, like, weigh in on stuff. And you're just like, how dare you? I have the best opinions always.
Yeah, well, that's one of the, like, I think it's best exemplified where essentially they learn that Picard's captured. And Riker's like, okay, we should put together a rescue team. And I think logically, if I were Jellicoe, the logical answer would be, I'm going to work on getting him out through negotiation. I want you to go ahead and put together a rescue plan as a plan B. I do not want to lead with that. But, go ahead and put one together as a plan B. And instead, he completely fucking shuts it down, says, no, we're not doing that. We're getting out through negotiation. And I'm like, come on, I think like putting together a plan B is not the worst idea ever. And let your first officer know he's being listened to. I'm not necessarily doing that, but I hear you. We'll work on that in the background while I work on the main plan.
Anytime Riker did anything that like in any way detracted from something that Jellicoe wanted or like was saying, he would be like, "Oh my God, you're so unprofessional."
Yeah,
it's like the smallest things too.
Well, I mean, also, like, I didn't like the way he was negotiating with the Cardassians, because there's ways to do that, like, that are smooth, and that's not what he was doing. Like, he was trying to take control, and he shows up an hour late, and the Cardassians are like, "Oh, how dare you be so disrespectful?" And he's like, "Well, and instead he gets aggressive
really
with
mad
them."
At him.
And I was like, dude, like, the smart way to handle that is to walk in and essentially say, "Oh, sorry, I'm so late. I had a lot of fiber yesterday," or some shit like that. And they're just like,
did he even admit that he had too much fiber? Because then you'd be admitting he's wrong. Can Jellicle Company admit when he's wrong?
I know, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like there's ways to like be casual but still control this shit, just like
I think the first time I watched these 2 episodes, I called him like my eternally based jelly company as like a joke, and now it's like the way that I refer to him like exclusively.
Yeah,
I haven't said this man's real name in like ever.
Edward Jellicoe Ashleen.
My eternally based jelly company.
Oh, yeah,
But
wait, I'm
yeah,
confused. That is his name. What do you mean you haven't said his name in a long time? That
yeah,
is his name.
yeah.
By eternally based jelly company.
Listen, man, his name's not Ed, it's Eb. Eternally based. Eternally.
EB Jellico.
But yeah, the highlight of this is obviously David Warner and Patrick Stewart, and
Yeah.
it is this way like the B plot's way more comfortable to talk about than the B plot because like it is so well, like the torture is so well done by both these actors. Like there's that egg that like he's like, oh, this is a delicacy, I got it for you, and he gives him this Cardassian egg, and Picard just opens it up and it's alive. And you just see Picard just look at it, and first I was like, ew, but Picard just goes and just gobbles it up, showing like he's obviously starving and just desperate for fucking anything. Oh yeah, there's the egg. Yeah, in the episode that is crawling around when he looks in. It's like, ooh, does not look appetizing, but Picard gulps it down.
We know how long he was in captivity for? Do we have a number on that?
I don't know, but like the big twist of the episode is that like I want to say Gul Madred, David Warner. I want to say that's his name, something like that.
Yeah.
He does break him. He Picard was broken in the end, which of course means he goes back to work the next day. Oh yeah, here's him taking his daughter to work day.
I like how almost every Cardassian just wears variations of the same fit. Like,
True.
why is she basically?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I think they even have a conversation like in front of them where they're like, yeah, do humans have emotion?
Oh.
Do humans have? Yeah, that's right.
Do
humans have parents like we do? And he's like, yeah, but they don't love their children as much as we do. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's like what. So, and what's the thing that they're doing right at the end too? Where where it's like they're coming right now, and you can go with them, or you can stay with me. Like that is one of the most nefarious things.
Oh yeah,
I think I've heard in a while. I forgot.
So yeah, so essentially he lets Picard go, and then as he's leaving, he's like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and question Beverly because we have her in containment. We couldn't really do anything with Worf. We had to execute him, but we still have Beverly. So we're going to let you go, and we'll get everything we need from her. We'll just have her go through all this stuff. And Picard's like, you're going to have her go through this? And he's like, yeah, no, we haven't done anything with her yet, but, we figure, you're done. We'll let her have her turn. And that's when Picard comes and sits down and says, we'll keep going. And one of the things I think is wild when you're watching this is that, like, they drug him up, and they get all the actual tactical information they want from him just right from the beginning. There's never any tension of whether or not that will happen. So the rest of the episode isn't about getting anything specific from him. It's about breaking him, which is just wild.
And I think Picard kind of like nails that at the end when he's sort of talking about how he's just like torture is like not like a reliable source of getting information,
yes,
and he's just kind of doing it like to do it.
Yes, yeah.
And I did actually really like that scene for Picard where he's in like this terrible pain, and he's screaming at him, "You are a 6-year-old boy."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Picard's trying to fuck with him too. Kind of. And he's doing all right, but yeah.
What's the thing that he says like right at the very end?
Yeah, there are 4 lights. Yeah, Patrick Stewart, great delivery. Once he was released, Jellicoe actually did negotiate his release. Once he's released, he turns to Madrid, goes, "There are 4 lights," and just kind of in a he says it in a way. Patrick Stewart's just such a great actor. He delivers it in a way that just says "fuck you," essentially.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mom.
I know when we got to that part, in my head I thought, "Get him."
Yeah. But yeah, you find out later when he's talking to Detroit, he's like, yeah, I was actually ready to tell him there was 5 lights. Because that was the thing. He wanted to tell him there was 5 lights. And that was also part of it. Because he said, it wasn't so much I wanted to tell him what he wanted to hear. It's that I actually thought I could see 5 lights. It's like, fuck. Yeah, he got to you. So, of course, he goes back to work the next day.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not going to traumatize you at all. He's fine.
He's just, if you think about it, Picard is actually just like O'Brien.
Yeah, true.
They always have O'Brien clocking in after, like, bizarre, like, life-changing, like...
You've died 5 times today. Get back to work.
So, I'm so close to going off topic. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Oh?
I'm not gonna do it.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, anything we'll add to change of command, or are we ready for the final entry in
Well,
this?
just because it's I think it's our last Cardassian. What a crazy concept for a race. They're the fascism race. Like we got the
Yeah.
capitalism race, we got the war race, we got the spy race, we got the fascism race.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
just
you are actually incorrect. It's not the last time though, because our final entry is Deep Space Nine's duet.
so you're right. You're right. You're right.
No, there's no Cardassians in this episode, unfortunately.
No, none at all.
What can
Disclaimer
I
at the start of
say?
the episode: no
we just lied
Cardassians were
to
harmed
you.
in the filming.
So yeah, this is the episode. Harris Yulin, right? Yeah, Harris Yulin plays this Cardassian who has Kalanora syndrome, and Kalanora syndrome was a condition exclusively contracted at this Bajoran labor camp. A Bajoran labor camp that Kira freed. So she assumed it was Bajoran. And when she goes and she finds out this person of Kalanor is a Cardassian, she's like, oh, that dude was one of essentially the slave masters there. Yeah, essentially, he's a war criminal, and and a lot of the crew's like, do you have evidence that he's a war criminal? And she's like, he's a fucking Cardassian. Of course, he's a war criminal, essentially. And they're like, but like she continues to investigate, and his story is that he's just a filing clerk. Like he just worked there. Like he wasn't doing any of the terrible stuff. And yeah, and they just continue to investigate, and they eventually find out he was the guy in charge of this camp, and he's like this terrible person. They got him screaming, Cardassian will control the Bajorans, you guys deserve to be ruled, got him screaming all this terrible stuff.
Yeah.
And only to find out at the end of the day, he is a filing clerk. He had himself surgically altered to look like the guy who was in charge of this camp, with the goal of being captured specifically by Kira, so he can be put on trial for the crimes of Cardassia, in the hopes that Cardassia will look upon this and realize its crimes and try to change.
And of course, also specifically, he also wanted to be executed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very publicly,
I think that's
yes.
Yeah. It's a very important detail.
Thoughts?
This episode.
This is just one of the best episodes of Star Trek ever, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, I think when I did my top 10 not that long ago of Deep Space Nine episodes, I think this landed at number 4, I want to say. Easily the best. I think an argument can be made this is the best season 1 Star Trek episode of any series, because I can't think of anything from season 1 from any other series that's this good.
While I'm sitting here and looking into his beautiful eyes, I have to shout out Harris Yulin, because he gave such an excellent performance in this. I remember like the first time I watched it, and it's like the scene where he starts like breaking down and revealing himself, and I was like about to start crying.
Mm-hmm.
He does such a good job.
Yeah, he's screaming about how he's going to torture Bajorans and stuff like that, and he's just slowly breaking down. It's so well done. Oh my god. Obviously, I don't think he would have been able to continue this charade all the way to trial and execution, but like, yeah,
he's a haunted man, and he just wanted
very haunted.
It's like such a hard concept to like wrap your head around too, because he could have lived out his life and been no one would have ever like known about it or said anything bad about him or anything, but that guilt that he felt from participating in essentially a concentration camp, bringing that concept back again. This is such a fun episode.
These are fun episodes.
But it's like I'm having trouble even describing it. He doesn't want to get away with it, even though he didn't even really do anything that wrong. He still feels like he contributed. He made these things happen. He allowed them to happen, and he's not okay with himself getting away with it. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, kind of bouncing off your idea, he talks about in the episode how he would hide his head under his desk and put his hands over his ears to hide from the screams of the Bajorans outside. How that tortured him, and what torture, and he felt terrible from never doing anything, just hiding from it. Yeah, he's a tortured soul. Yeah. This is such a good episode. Nana Visitor is also fantastic in this as well.
I was going to say that they have all of these scenes together, and it's just like the acting is just so good.
Mm-hmm. Well, except
of course,
that,
there's this guy.
this guy.
We had to balance it out somehow.
Yeah,
you know?
the spoiler: the guy who kills Harris Yulin's character, not giving a great performance, but everybody else in this episode is amazing.
Eamon Maritza.
Eamon Maritza, yes. But yeah, yeah, this episode just, oh god, it's tough to watch this and keep your eyes dry. I'll be honest. Like this is an episode that's not afraid to get into the horrors of the occupation and the horrors of just how terrible things can get in a situation like that, and just showing how it fucks you up, not just on like, you know, not just on a physical level, but on like a mental and emotional level, just fucks you up. Yeah. Great fucking
need to take
episode.
mental health more serious, man.
True. I firmly believe mental health, well, and health in general should just be, you know, kind of free for everybody. But you know, hey, why take care of people, you know? But yeah, God, this is
so interesting to me. So the name of this episode, Duets.
Yeah.
And like you're the singer, Ashley. So the definition of a duet is just like a song that two people sing together, right?
I mean, yeah, but it also can in general refer to sort of pieces and performances that are done by two people together. So you could argue that like sort of Kira and Maritza sort of are duetting each other a lot in this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a great verb.
They are playing off each other. Yeah,
I know.
That's what they play off each other throughout the whole thing.
I know.
It's great. Yeah.
Actually, recently I had a project in my musical theater class where we had to perform a duet from some musical, and we had options. It could be a dance that was a duet. It could be an acting scene that was a duet, or it could be a song that was a duet. So it can apply to multiple things. But I think when the average person is saying, "Oh, hello there,"
Elam's here, by the way.
Yeah. I think that like when the average person says duet, they're thinking of like two people. You know, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, he loved me. And now he love you. But it's like kind of pushing me over a little bit. I'm like,
I'm trying to get. There's a laugh there. I can get to it.
Yeah, I think like when the average person thinks of a duet, they think of like a song that's being sung by two people. Though obviously, like that can also refer to like sort of like people like doing like instruments together. Like you could technically have a duet between like two guitarists and stuff like that.
Okay.
But like I don't know, it can refer to a lot of things. It's basically what I'm saying, but it's the key aspect of it is that it's a performance that's being done by like two people kind of bouncing off of each other.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's a random thing to ask because as I was watching the episode for this rewatch, it was I kept thinking like duet. It takes two to tango, and I'm like, is there something there? Am I overthinking it? Like, or is it just like a cool way of saying that like these two characters are just going to bounce off of each other and like. I don't know. Maybe I could just be rambling. No, never mind.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that is it. But like,
it would be kind of interesting if you could sort. I think that my brain isn't working. But like, okay, hear me out. Hear me out for a moment. I don't know if this makes any sense. I'm gonna say it out loud, and everything's gonna immediately stop making sense. But you could kind of consider it in a way like the character of Eamon Maritza is in a way sort of performing a duet by himself, and the way that he sort of portrays himself as these two different people, you know?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about
himself.
the duet in that. Yeah, because he does kind of play two different characters.
I was thinking about that recently because I've been trying to become more familiar with musical theater because I'm in a class dedicated to it. And I watched this musical recently, and it was a musical adaptation of Jekyll and Hyde. And that and I didn't really like it a whole lot, but they have this song where Jekyll and Hyde have a duet. But it's really interesting to me because it's a duet being done by one actor. And I've been thinking about that concept of sort of duetting yourself a lot recently because of that.
No,
it's probably what I'm thinking.
No, I didn't even
about.
think about Duet as being like the two
cool.
characters Maritza plays here, because he plays
Yeah.
Maritza and then he also is the Gull, and he
Yeah.
he plays them both. Yeah,
That is super interesting. I'm really
Yeah.
glad I brought up my random thought, actually. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
but
I
yeah,
probably wouldn't have thought about that.
I mean, it's also, I think it's worth pointing out, this is a major episode for Kira's arc throughout the
Okay.
rest of the series. This episode kind of defines Kira for the rest of the series, frankly.
yes.
Because until this point,
Easily.
she was fresh off the Bajoran occupation. She's, kind of short-tempered and a hothead, and it got annoying at times in season 1, but it was also understandable in season 1, just knowing her situation. This episode like evolves her a lot. Yeah, it's a great episode. Anything you guys want to add before we talk about our favorites from this set?
I mean, it's an incredible episode.
So sad
I
at
gotta
the end.
say,
Oh god,
go ahead.
yeah.
Elam is really living the life right now. I think. He is.
He's living his best cat life.
Yes.
Yeah. He has like dreams about this.
Well, I'll go ahead and say of this
mhm.
set, I think Duet's got to be my favorite. As much as
Oh,
I
yeah.
like Chain of Command and Detain, like again, Enterprise kind of falls to the wayside. Although I do think it's a fun episode. Well, fun. I think it's fun that you have people in this terrible situation, but then they do this prison escape thing, which I do enjoy.
Who doesn't love a good prison break, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get them out of there.
But yeah, I think of these three, even though Chain of Command, like Picard and David Warner are acting their asses off in that one. I think Duet's my favorite of these three. What do you guys think?
Duet is.
And I'm right there
my
with you.
favorite
Duet's
show.
like
Yeah.
just it's perfection, man.
Yeah.
And then I guess the next question would be, what's our favorite of all the episodes we've discussed?
Okay. I mean, honestly, for me, it's probably still Duet.
I know. I was thinking about it too, and I'm like, I think it
It's
might still be
so
Duet.
good. Like, I
It's
can't-
insanely good.
I can't
yeah.
stress enough. If any of the 8 people that are watching this right now have not seen Duet, please do yourself a favor and go
It's
watch
in
it.
season 1, Deep
It's
Space
really
Nine.
good.
And we're
Very
probably,
accessible.
we'll definitely get at least a few hundred people watching later.
Two
So
people
check it
left
out.
when I said that.
Oh, they're off to watch Duet. You chased
Yeah,
them
you
away,
see?
Ashley.
See, they were like on it.
But yeah,
I think Duet was the episode when I first watched Deep Space Nine that made me go like, oh whoa, I'm really gonna like this show. That I think, like, obviously there have been like, I like Cisco and all the cast before
Mhm.
then, but this is the first episode to really kind of grab me and make me like legitimately want to keep watching outside of just, oh, it's Star Trek.
I don't remember exactly what the episode was. I know it was season 3, but it might have even been something kind of silly and fun like Civil Defense. But there was a point where I was watching season 3. It's just watching weekly in syndication. There was a point where I was watching it, and I just looked at my mom and said, I think this might be my favorite Star Trek series. And yeah, and season 3 was
good.
still early, and we weren't even to the peaks of this series yet. And it's like, yeah, I was already going, this might be the best one. This is really good.
The first time Deep Space Nine like really grabbed my attention was in the first scene Garrick was in.
No, God, yeah,
Because I just like he captivated me.
yeah.
I don't know what it is about Garrick, but
I do actually have to agree with you on that. I remember the first time I watched that scene between Garrick and Bashir when it ended. I was just like, no, more.
Yeah.
Have the whole episode.
No, it's one of those things where you first watch that scene. It's like, well, wait, can I see the rest? Does Garrick get lucky? Does Garrick get lucky?
please tell me their romance continues.
But yeah, overall, I'd say this is a pretty good set overall. I like all these episodes. Yeah. And by the way, Star Trek has never been political and never handled fascism before ever. It never.
Ever.
It's always very subtle in its approach. Like you can't even tell what they're talking about half the time. They're not drawing exact parallels to anything happening in the real world or anything. No. So
I was
subtle.
not ready for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, or however long it was, where I was like, I'm watching a lot of Star Trek characters throw Hal Hitler's right now.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
wasn't
Yeah.
quite ready for that.
Well, there's. I was thinking about, and I thought there was only 2 episodes where there's actually Nazis in the episode, but there's actually 3. I forgot about Stormfront. But the reason I didn't include Stormfront was because there's so much temporal Cold War stuff in there that it's not even about fascism or Nazis. It's like it's kind of actually a cool setup. So Archer finds himself in the past, and he's in the past with he's in World War II. He's in New York, and the Nazis are occupying. And it's like, that never happened. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know
like
you
this
said
really
that.
great setup.
And I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Were my history teachers just
Yeah.
like
When
they
did
just like clocked out?
Yeah, when
They
did
were
the
sleeping on
Nazis
the job?
occupy New York? I'm pretty sure that never happened.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and then of course, it all gets muddled up in this temporal Cold War storyline. And it gets frustrating because, like, oh, that's such a good setup. Oh,
You
and
know
then
you have a weird
yeah.
episode on your hand when there are Nazis in there and they're not trying to make a point about Nazis.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So season 4 of Enterprise is definitely the best season, but like it starts a little wonky, although it's not the weakest Enterprise has ever been, but it definitely starts wonky. Good premise though. Good premise. Anything coming up on your channel, Lindsay?
I need to start making content again. There have been so many things I've wanted to make little episodes about. I'm about to get a new computer too, so like I'm literally out of excuses. Just keep an eye on my 2 cents of nonsense, and I'll start having some stuff coming out here very soon. I promise.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to his channel. It's a great channel.
Thank you.
This guy.
Okay, yes. Oh, hey, Lindsay, I see you over there. How you doing?
Oh, you're gonna spoil the surprise.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you lived in our walls like that.
Yeah, what the heck? Oh shit, you're right there.
Our walls look very spacious.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on our walls, but yeah. I have, if people are wondering, I have recorded Man of Steel versus Superman 2025. Hoping to get that edited while I'm visiting my family, so that should be fun. I have to change the editing because YouTube copyrights so much worse than when I first started doing those videos, and it was rough back then. But I have ideas. But yeah, hopefully I'll get that out in like a week or so. But yeah, I think that's about all that's going on because I won't be doing a whole lot. I'll probably do another solo stream next weekend. But yeah, during this week, I will not be live really at all. Probably the podcast will get postponed to the weekend as well.
There's some family stuff you got to take care of, you know.
Yeah.
Go, you know, it's okay.
It's a party.
Yeah.
It's a party.
It's
But
party.
yeah,
There you go.
it'll be good to hang out with family. But yeah, like, subscribe. Check out the channel of the guy who lives in my walls over here.
That's me. Also, don't forget, fascism sucks.
Fascism bad. And Star Trek is very subtle in the way it talks about fascism. You can't even tell they're talking about it. It's very nuanced. In fact, I would even say it's a non-political show. Yeah, we're going back to that. No, it's
really not political.
No, like listen, there was lots of suggestions I was going through, and I could have drawn, like, I remember, I think Return of the Archons was on this list originally, and there was like something like they go to this society that's kind of wild, and one of the aspects of society is that you're not allowed to speak negatively of the leader or anything like that. And it's like, oh shit, that's definitely like there's so much Star Trek that's anti-fascist. And like I said,
watch the entire franchise.
You could just watch Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine is like the whole franchise is anti-fascist, but Deep Space Nine is thoroughly anti-fascist.
I mean, like, one of like the big overarching villains is, you know, it's Golden Khan, and he just like is like fascism the character.
Yeah, he's fascism the dude. He is fascism.
He's living the fascist lifestyle fully and utterly.
Yeah.
In every way.
He's perfect in every way. Anything that goes poorly is not his fault. He just should be the leader of everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Goddamn. Deep Space Nine is such a good series. But yeah,
did they ever write like a book like Cardassian philosophy or something like that? Because like I know like Bashir and what's his name are always trading books back and forth. I'd love to read a Cardassian book about like the role of the state. Like
I don't know if they have written those, but I know. Did you ever finish Stitch in Time?
No, I started reading it and then I got distracted.
I got her the audiobook version of Stitch in Time, which is the story of Garrick. It's not canon, but it's the story that Andrew Robinson kind of put together in his mind for Garrick, his backstory.
And it's narrated
Oh.
by Andrew Robinson as Garrick.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
Okay.
I read it
I might need to
normally,
check
and I
this
was like,
out.
I kind of want the audiobook version now.
Wait, that actually does sound incredible. I need to look into that. That
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
It's pretty epic. I also like he's credited like on the box that I have as like Andrew Garrick Robinson, and I love the implication that people just call him that.
Yeah.
He legally changed his middle name to Garrick.
Yeah, the J stands for Garrick.
Jarek.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess I'll probably get something edited, like a stream clip, probably sometime during the week. But I'll be with family stuff. We'll see what happens, guys.
No,
But yeah.
you prioritize family stuff is what I say. But also get your content out, sir. Make that money.
Yeah, work for YouTube.
There you go.
Get your video out and make $10.
Oh, there you
yeah.
go, my friend.
Yeah. Put 100 hours into it and get $10. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. We'll probably try to do another Star Trek stream at some point in the future. Who knows? Maybe. We did have an original plan lined up, and then kind of some fascist things happened in real life, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a sudden change and do this.
Yeah, no, that was honestly a good call. I'm really glad we did that. This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yes. So, guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. Party on. Be excellent to each other.